Now, we're excited to announce we will be bringing that same passion to cricket fans at Emirates Old Trafford. As the official wine, spirits and soft drinks partner of Lancashire Cricket, we're elevating matchday experiences, hospitality and celebrations across the next 3 years. From the first ball to the final cheers, Barton's is here to make every moment one to savour. Keep an eye out for some familiar brands such as Guinness, Celavino, VK Hooch and Britvic. Barton's and Lancashire Cricket, partnership built on passion, unforgettable moments and history.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary.
Welcome to the opening day. Oh, that is a wonderful shot.
Very good morning to you and a warm welcome from Emirates Old Trafford. We've got a double header in the Vitality T20 Blast here throughout the day, and it starts with Lancashire Thunder against the Blaze. Just a moment or so we will see the two captains getting things underway as far as the toss is concerned to decide who bats and who bowls. But we are delighted to tell you that this is our Pride Round. We're going to be supporting various LGBTQ+ projects throughout the day. We're also going to be raising money for the LGBT Foundation. We want everybody to know that everybody coming through the gates here at Emirates Old Trafford is safe and welcome. More on that throughout the day and throughout the afternoon. But first of all, let's head straight over to the wicket, because Kirsty Gordon of the Blaze is about to get things off and underway, and Ellie Threlkeld of the Lancashire Thunder will be calling as well. So we're going to see who bats and who bowls first, as the umpires just explain the final few bits and bobs as far as the rules are concerned. In the middle this afternoon, the umpires are Neil Pratt and Amy Clark. Sun's starting to come out here at Emirates Old Trafford. We've got quite a lot of crowd around, but we're hopeful that we will get the full game in. So Ellie Threlkeld throws the coin. Oh, Kirsty Gordon has called it, and I think she's decided to bowl. Let's get Kirsty over. Kirsty, come and have a quick chat. You had to think about that for a while there, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we were playing back-to-back games, so just a bit forgetful this morning. But no, that's all good. We're happy we won the toss, and yeah, we want to bowl first and have a chase.
Obviously, like you say, back-to-back games. This competition is relentless to an extent, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but everyone's in the same boat, really, so we just got to get on with it. We had a pretty easy journey up last night, so it was all good.
Very strange to see a tied game for you in the first round against the Bears yesterday. How was that?
Yeah, it was not good for the nerves, but there's so many learnings we can take from that. I think we bowled well in patches, but T20 is just so different to 50 over 9. I think we're playing on such good pitches as well that batters are really taking down bowling attacks. So I think we'll be better off from that game yesterday, and obviously it's these guys' first game, so we're hoping that we're a bit more battle-hardened.
Go well today. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Let's bring in Ellie Threlkeld, the victorious captain, having won the T20 County Cup just a few days ago. Has everybody come down off cloud nine yet?
Yeah, I think so, just about. Yeah, obviously 2 more trophies that we can compete for, so reset and go again today.
What is the feeling amongst the players? Because it must be one of huge confidence having got that first trophy in the cabinet.
Yeah, definitely. It was a special day. Really proud of all the girls, but yeah, hope we can take some of the momentum we've built in that competition into this one.
As far as your side is concerned today, how strong are you looking? How confident is everybody?
Yeah, feeling confident. Side similar to finals day. Mahika Gore comes in for Kate Cross and Katie Mack comes in for Emma Lamb.
And how confident is everybody as far as this competition is concerned now? Because obviously, having got that first trophy in the cabinet, the momentum is huge. There must be a great, great feeling amongst everybody involved here.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been playing some really good cricket this year. So yeah, hopefully we can continue doing that, and it's the start of a new competition, so starting from zero again, so hopefully we can go well today.
Go well, Ellie. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Ellie Threlkeld there, victorious captain, having won the T20 County Cup. Loads to come over the course of the day here. Don't forget, the Emirates First Ball Flyer is going to be back a little bit later on. You've got a double chance to possibly win a couple of tickets to Dubai, courtesy of our principal sponsors, Emirates. But let's have a little look back at that momentous day down in Taunton on Monday, where Lancashire Thunder picked up their first professional trophy. Well, here we are in C Stand. Fans starting to gather here ahead of Thunder's first game. I've got Mark and Emma who have come all the way from Liverpool, but you guys are members, aren't you? So you're regulars here.
Yeah, we try and come here to all the Blast games and some of the county championship games when we can.
You were here on Thursday night as well, I understand, is that right?
Yeah, we were. We really enjoyed the first T20 match of the season, and we were just up on the edge, so we had a really great view. of the game as well, which was fantastic.
It was a bit of a nail biter, wasn't it?
It was 8 runs in it, I think. 7 runs, sorry, 7 runs at the end, so it was fantastic. Really exciting to watch. I really enjoyed it.
How were your nerves, Mark, as far as that was concerned?
It was a bit of a roller coaster, I think. Touch and go, especially after the power play.
That's T20 cricket, though, isn't it? That's why we love it.
It is, absolutely. No, it's the best form.
So how much are you looking forward to seeing the Thunder get their campaign underway here this morning? It's great to have you guys here. Are you excited?
Absolutely, yeah. They're straight off the back of a cup win. So another couple of competitions to go at this season, and fingers crossed the girls can do it.
Emma, how proud are you of the women's team for getting their first professional trophy?
It's fantastic achievement, girl power, and just winning the first trophy sets them up really well for the season, I would imagine. So fingers crossed, win for the first T20 match for them at Old Trafford would be amazing.
Do you think it's going to be the first trophy of many for the girls?
Yes, definitely. Run on their success now from Monday onwards, so sending them lots of positive energy. I hope they do really well.
I second that. Now, you guys were here on Thursday night, as you say, so you remember, you must have seen the Emirates first ball flyer. Do you remember much about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Inches away from giving away.
We were so close, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed. Is there 2 attempts today?
Now this is it. Because we've got a double header here today, you've got 2 chances to possibly win 2 trips to Dubai, 2 tickets to Dubai. So how would you fancy? Have you been to Dubai before?
No.
How would you fancy that? You fancy a couple of weeks in Dubai? That do you?
I wouldn't mind a couple of weeks in Dubai. Definitely not. It sounds amazing.
If you were the winner, would you be taking him with you?
Yeah, I would have. It's my husband.
You had to think about that, didn't you?
No, of course I will take my husband with me. It'll be an amazing, exciting place to go to. So it's one of those places that like to visit. It looks amazing. So yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed.
I think whether or not you actually win the tickets, Emma's got her eye on the trip to Dubai. Whether you like it or not here, Mark, you might be having to dig your wallet out, I think.
No, come on, you can't be giving her ideas like that. That's not right.
I'll tell you what, we'll have a word with Emirates, see whether you can get you a mates rates discount or something like that. I'm sure we'll know somebody somewhere along the line. Right, best of luck, guys, as far as the Emirates first ball flyer is concerned. Also, best of luck in terms of the game today. I hope you really enjoy it. Thanks for coming out. We really appreciate your support. Great stuff. Thanks, guys. Emma and Mark are absolutely loving it here. Wherever you are around the world watching this feed, then get onto the socials, send us a message on X, on Instagram, get on YouTube. Just tell us where you are, how you're enjoying the game, how you're watching the game today as well. Get involved, get on the socials and send us a message. We are looking forward to the Thunder against the Blaze. That's the first game coming up very shortly. We'll have the confirmed team news in just a minute or two.
"1864. We were first class then, and we're first class now. With a dream to spread cricket through Lancashire's towns, where girls and boys, with willow and leather, become more than a badge, but the red rose together.
A club where more than legends are made, but friendships, obsessions, moments replayed on our screens, in our minds, in our hearts forever. 'Cause it's who we are, our DNA, the red rose together.
Statham, Briggs, Jimmy, Freddie and Joss Chappie, Sir Clive Lloyd, Carol Hodges, Kate Cross. What a roll call. It's a hard one to measure, with future names still to be written on the red rose together.
We're all about people. It's what the red rose really means. Yeah, the ones signing autographs, but the ones behind the scenes.
Our community, grassroots, the ones that feel tethered. Whether you're from here or belong here, we're the red rose together.
And what about this place? Talk about world-class venues, internationals, gigs, events. You can choose from a menu of triumph, of disaster, of pain, or pleasure.
We've seen it all at Emirates Old Trafford, with the red rose together.
Red ball, white ball, lightning and thunder.
Have you ever sat back Have you ever just wondered how far we've come? The storms we've weathered, or how far we'll go as the red rose together.
So, as you heard a little bit earlier, the Blaze have won the toss and they have decided to field. This is their team this afternoon. Marie Kelly, Georgia Elwis, Catherine Bryce, Sarah Bryce, Maddie Green, Ella Claridge, Michaela Kirk, Sarah Glenn, Captain Kirsty Gordon, Cassidy McCarthy, and Grace Ballinger. And your Lancashire Thunder team for this afternoon are as follows: Katie Mack, Tilly Casterman, Saren Smale, Fee Morris, Captain Ellie Threlkeld, Sophie Eccleston, Elsa Lister, Tara Norris, Grace Potts, Mahika Gore, and Sophie Morris. Well, the selections are in. Paul Shaw is here with me. First of all, Paul, you must be absolutely delighted with this team having got their first professional trophy in the cabinet. That must be an amazing feeling for you.
Absolutely fantastic. So delighted for everyone involved with the club. The performances down in Taunton on Monday evening was fantastic. I watched it on Lancs TV. Really special for Ellie. She's worked really hard over a number of years. Have the players, the coaching staff with Reedy, they've done really, really well. And also special thanks, I think, to David Thorley and Daniel Gidney here at the club that's invested massively over the last few years. And the sponsors that he's been able to bring in to invest in the club have been absolutely fantastic. And now it's bearing fruit.
It is, and it's great to see that because, as you say, we all know the hard work that has been put in at this club, particularly by the players as well. And we've had a core group of players that have been here for a number of years now. A few have come in, a few have gone, but there's development going on in terms of some of the young players coming through as well. So it's a real emphasis, it's a real illustration, isn't it, that if you put the hard work in, if you build it, success will come.
Absolutely, and there's no shortcuts in this. It takes time. You build the foundations, then you move on to the next floor, and then you eventually get to put the roof on the house, but it takes a little while to get to that. So the work that the players have put in, the coaching staff over a number of years now, you know, it's absolutely fantastic, and they've got the just desserts. And now the important thing is two big competitions starting today. The Blaze here, really important they get off to a flying start today, and also they're going really well in the 50 over competition and they're well set for the second half of the season. So work's not done, but it's potentially one of the best seasons they could ever have.
Massive boost for confidence for everybody concerned, though. Now that they know that they have that ability to be able to win a trophy, is that a big obstacle in itself to just get over that first hurdle to realise, yes, actually, we can do this, we are capable of winning?
Absolutely, because confidence and true belief only comes from actually doing it. So once you've done it, then you start believing. And you look at the work that you've done and the work that you need to do, and that confidence gives you almost a springboard to start believing, and then, you know, to take on the really top quality players and top quality teams around the country and give yourself the best chance of finishing high, but also looking to get further silverware.
Looking at the side this afternoon versus the Blaze, I mean, we've got perfect illustrations of what we were just talking about in someone like Mahika Gore, who was a little gem who's come through the academy system. We've now got Tilly Kestevan as well, who looks like she's going to be a real star with the bat. So the talent is out there. It's just a case of us being able to find it and bring it through.
Absolutely, there's loads of talent out there, lots of potential, and the club's getting better and better and better through its community network and development officers and coaches, pulling in young girls, you know, that could be really exciting and smashing boundaries for the next generations over the next 10, 20 years, because you're not just thinking the next few years, you're thinking long term, and actually young players coming through, good coaching systems in place, all of a sudden you've got a self-sustaining pathway.
As for the Blaze, we know plenty about them. We've seen them here on many an occasion before, of course. They're missing a couple of their England stars, particularly today. No Nat Siver-Brunt, no Tammy Beaumont, but they are still a decent side. We do know, though, having got a win over them in the semi-finals just a few days ago, they're a team that Lancashire can beat.
Absolutely, and Lancashire should be confident because they've beat them 3 times this year, and especially in a big game on Monday. But, you know, with the Bryce sisters, with both bat and ball, you've got Glenn in there as well, the leg spinner, the England leg spinner's available. You know, they're going to be a really tough opposition. They've got an ultimate competitor in Kirsty Gordon, their captain. So from that perspective, it's going to be really tough for the Thunder side. But I think you've got 2 evenly matched teams. So far this season, Thunder's got the edge, but I think it's set now for a really, really good game of cricket.
OK, Paul, thanks very much indeed for the moment. Don't forget, tons coming up throughout the course of the afternoon. It's our Pride round here at Emirates Old Trafford. We're making sure that everybody who comes through the doors here knows that cricket is an inclusive game. We want you to feel safe. We want you to feel welcome. We've got the Emirates first ball flyer. That's going to be coming up very soon as well. Remember, if the first bowler for Lancashire takes the wicket with the very first ball, somebody here could be winning 2 tickets to Dubai, courtesy of Emirates. And of course, we want you to get involved, get in touch with us on the socials, on X, on Instagram, all over the place. Let us know how you're enjoying the game, where you are around the world watching it. Send us a picture. We'd love to see. Get involved. Please do that. So the Blaze versus the Thunder coming up here at Emirates Old Trafford very, very shortly. But before that, let's just have a little recap of the T20 rules.
Each match is played by 2 teams of 11 players. Some are batters, some are bowlers, and there's 1 wicket-keeper. Both teams have a chance to bat and bowl. Look out for the coin toss. That's how they decide which team bats or bowls first. Each team has 20 overs to score as many runs as possible. The team with the most runs wins the game. 1 over is made up of 6 good deliveries from the bowler. To score runs, batters hit the ball and run between the stumps. If the ball reaches the boundary, it's 4 runs, and if it gets there without bouncing, that's a 6. While the batting team is scoring runs, the bowling team are trying to stop them and get the batters out by taking wickets. A few ways batters can be out are bowled, caught, run out, stumped, and LBW. Watch out for signals from the umpires, 4s, 6s, wickets, and these when a bad delivery has been bowled. Bad deliveries add runs to the batting team's score, and the bowler must bowl an extra ball. If you see the umpire doing this, the next ball is a free hit, and the batter cannot be out, bowled, caught, LBW, or stumped. And those are all the basics you need to know to get behind your team in this year's Vitality Blast competition.
When I was a kid, there was no professional women's cricket. I didn't even think that women could be professional sports people.
Especially early on, it just didn't really seem like there was a career in it.
To support myself around cricket, I had to work at the petrol garage.
I was the only girl, so I stood out.
I'd love for young girls to be able to dream about being an athlete and it to be achievable.
Thanks to the Hilton funding my contract, it's allowed me to play the game that I love all day, every day.
We're like an engine and we need to be fueled with the right gas.
Without funding, we can't be visible. You can't be what you can't see.
As a team, it feels like we're breaking boundaries.
Thunder and Lancashire always want to put women's cricket at the forefront, and now I think that's really shining through.
It's mad to think that without the Hilton funding, like, we wouldn't be playing cricket every day, training.
Well, we could be, but we wouldn't have any money.
We wouldn't, yeah, true.
This is one that Lancs would feel they have to win.
You know, and that's what we want in women's cricket, competitive games.
Playing some really good cricket, so just trying to do that for longer.
not too far away from the first game of our T20 double header live from Emirates Old Trafford. Midday starts for Lancashire Thunder against the Blaze and a 4 p.m. start for Lancashire Lightning against the Notts Outlaws. Scott Reed and Faith Florence here up in the commentary box to get you underway. We're going to hear from Paul Shaw, and we've got Dave Bracegirdle from BBC Radio Nottingham as well. This opening fixture, and indeed the second game of the day, broadcast live on Emirates from Emirates Old Trafford on Lancs TV and the BBC Sport website and app, and it is the club's first ever Pride fixture, hosting the first Pride T20 fixture, and the club also raising money for the LGBT Foundation as well through the course of the day. And there's loads of events taking place. There's face painting going on, there's various activities, loads of different things for young and old cricket fans to enjoy. You don't need to be young to enjoy a fan village and some face painting. You can be any age to have your face painted. Why not? So we've got plenty of Pride flags floating around the ground. We've got up on the screen, you can see the rainbow colours of Emirates Old Trafford, and the flags here as well on the roof of the pavilion. Also with the Pride rainbow flags flying proudly on the top of the pavilion here at Emirates Old Trafford as well. So a lovely fixture to celebrate the club's first Pride T20 game, and hopefully, Faith, a very good game of cricket against two sides who have got very contrasting memories of the last time that they faced each other. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, everybody listening. It's such a fantastic occasion. Really thrilled to be here. Welcome to all of you listeners. It's so great to see a smattering of people arriving into the grounds on this beautiful day at Emirates Old Trafford for this fixture, Lancashire Thunder against the Blaze. Yes, and the last time that they met, you mentioned, Scott, in that T20 Cup semi-final. It was Lancashire that came away the winners from quite a nervy encounter, I think, and went on to lift the trophy. So, yeah, I'm sure that will be, well, I'm sure they've moved on, but also be slightly fresh in the mind, in the back of the mind of the Blaze, that they really need to know what to do and right the wrongs, correct any of the mistakes they made, and come away with a win from this fixture is what they'll be aiming to do, of course. And Lancashire are going to want to put on a really good show for their fans and continue the amazing momentum and good fortune that they've had this season.
Yes, this is Lancashire's first game since finals day on Monday. We had Phoebe Graham with us on Thursday evening for the opening men's blast fixture with a slightly croaky voice. I reckon a few celebrations were had on Monday in Taunton, and why not? But exactly. The first game since that fixture. However, the Blaze have played already, and they were involved in a pretty dramatic fixture last night.
Yes, they definitely were. I was watching that one, and you know, I think anybody would have thought around the halfway stage and even earlier on, in fact, even up to 3/4 of the way through the match, that the Blaze were going to run away with that game. But it actually ended up in a tie. So, yeah, very dramatic. And I'm sure, you know, the Blaze won't want to repeat anything like that today and want to make sure they get over the line.
Yes, chasing 161 to win. Yeah. Finished on 160 for 4. Yeah, pretty dramatic opening fixture for the Blaze. Viewers on Lancs TV, we're heading down pitch side, but here from Fraser.
Welcome everybody to Emirates Old Trafford. This is our Pride round, and we want everybody coming through the gates to know here that they are welcome and safe. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge warm welcome with a guard of honour from Walsden Cricket Club, our umpires this afternoon, Neil Pratt and Amy Clark. And please welcome to the pitch our visitors this afternoon, the Blaze. Emirates Old Trafford, are you ready? Please give a huge warm welcome to the pitch for the opening batters for Lancashire Thunder.
before was an absolute revelation. It's interesting because I think now a lot of people think, right, Thunder will have shaken off that underdog tag that they used to have and really should be kind of leading from the front and have, well, you might say the weight of expectation, but actually it should be lifting them, you know, from another perspective, or that expectation that they can do well and that they can dominate and win games easily. So,
I suppose once you get over the line, once you win the first trophy,
it's a habit, isn't it?
It should be, shouldn't it? Yeah, and having got to finals day a couple of years ago where they lost at finals day, back a few years later, but then go on to lift the trophy, you're kind of hoping that this could be the start of a bit of a golden era for women's cricket in Lancashire. Or am I getting too excited?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think, you know, it's been a long time coming, as many have said, and perhaps now the time has arrived, right?
Well, let's hope so. Let's see if the time has arrived. The Blaze, on the back of that pretty dramatic tie, they've already got one T20 game under their belt in this year's T20 Blast. Obviously played quite a bit of T20 County Cup action, having reached finals day. But this is Thunder's first Vitality T20 game of this group campaign. So we're pretty much set. There's a slip in place on the attack, nice and early here. The Blaze. It'll be Grace Ballinger to get us underway from the Brian Statham end. And Tilly Kesteven on strike with Katie Mack at the non-strikers end. Two fielders outside the fielding circle, deep third and deep backward square. That's just tucked away towards the onside, and there's no run. We are up and running then, the first of this double-header, live from Emirates Old Trafford. Love a double-header.
I do too. It's just such a fantastic day for supporters. 2 games of cricket for the price of 1.
What's not to like? Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I do like a double-header. Forecast is good. It's improved. I think there was a suggestion that might get the odd shower, but that looks like it's all disappeared. So hopefully a nice day of cricket ahead. Just runs up the thigh pad as Ballinger from over the wicket. Just trying to work it away to the leg side. Just drops back down the pitch. And Sarah Bryce, the keeper, comes from behind the stumps to field. For Tilly Kesteven, this is one heck of a start to her life in the Thunder shirt, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people who'd been expecting maybe to or got used to seeing Eve Jones picked up a bit of an injury, but Kesteven's also a left-handed batter.
77 in the final on Monday. On strike now, pushing away towards the onside. And there is no run, fielded at mid-wicket.
Yeah, if anyone felt she had anything to prove, I think she's definitely proved it. That's where she belongs, at the top of the order in Lancashire, and hopefully can go on to do great things for the side in this competition.
She's from the Cheshire Leagues, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. She plays for Cumbria at the moment. Okay. Well, Lancashire now, but Cumbria before.
So we're halfway through the first over. Here's Ballinger over the wicket, balls again. Here we go. First runs on the board, worked away through the leg side. And beautifully timed, in fact, all the way for 4. Lovely shot. Leans into it and works it in front of square for 4.
Yeah, really good timing, because it didn't look to have the pace at first to go all the way. You thought the fielders might catch up with it, but just so beautifully placed. So more of what we had a sighter of in that T20 Cup.
It's amazing how things can happen, on it, with an injury to Eve Jones. It creates an opportunity in the side, and I guess it's over to the player, isn't it? Can you try and make the most of it? Till he's done that so far. Trying to work it to the leg side. Another appeal for LBW. I suspect that's angling away down the leg side. Actually, a little bit of bat on that. It's been giving us a run, so a little thin inside edge.
It sounded a bit woody, like it had hit some kind of a bat, but clearly the Blaze are up and about. And make sure you get those appeals in if you think you might have the slightest sniff at a wicket there.
Yeah, a couple of early appeals here to get the game underway. 1 ball left of the first over of the match. And Katie Mack on strike for the first time. Here comes Ballinger. This slightly angled approach, left arm over balls, and push back towards Grace Ballinger, who signs off the first over. 5 runs coming from it. That lovely shot for 4 through the leg side, and then the single as well. So 5 without loss. 1 over into this opening game of this T20 double-header.
Yeah, good start there for Lancashire, and well, a couple of shouts that came to nothing for the Blaze, but they'll feel that that first over hasn't sort of run away from them.
Just looking at, we mentioned Eve Jones and the injury to Eve. I mean, no injury comes at a good time, does it? But you look at the runs that Eve Jones has got this season, the scores that she's got this season. 97, 107, 57, 52, 33 and 60. It's not a good time to have an injury, is it, when you're in such good form? But
no, it's really a great shame, and yeah, no, we'll be feeling it more than her to miss out. But she's backing the team. It's Catherine Bryce into Kesteven, who hits out to the onside, gathered by the fielder. No run. Bryce into Kesteven. It's that straight past the bowler. They will scamper through for one run. It's gathered by the fielder in the ring. Adding one run to the total, and Katie Mack back on strike.
Plenty of conversations going on here.
Yeah, Catherine Bryce just getting her field absolutely right as she wants it. In over the wicket to Katie Mack. Takes a big swing. Keeper gathers.
Good that, isn't it, with the keeper up as well. Not a great deal of room for Katie Mack to work with. Keeper standing right up.
Absolutely. Applying early pressure there to the Lancashire batters. Catherine Bryce into Katie Mack. And that's gone through past the fielders. She's driven that all the way to the boundary for 4. First boundary for Katie Mack. That'll feel nice as they touch gloves in the middle there. She's up and away. And they're going to want to score plenty more of those, get up to a good total.
It's a good shot, wasn't it? Just reaching for it, but eased away through extra cover, just under the body of the fielder inside the circle. And as soon as it got through the infield, it's a quick outfield here, you'll get decent value for your shots.
Definitely. Catherine Bryce over to Katie Mack, and this time to point. The fielder's running round, but she's not going to get there. It's another 4 runs. Striking it really well so far, Katie Mack.
It's a good shot, isn't it? Played it late, going back, cutting the ball away through deep backward point. She's got at the previous delivery, gone forward into it, and driven away through cover. That one going back and playing late.
Catherine Bryce to Katie Mack again, and that goes behind, and it's a fielder giving chase. It's going to make it to the boundary. Like you said, it's a really rapid outfield there, and that's been cut down to third. Another 4 runs, so just dealing in boundaries, Katie Mack so far, and Kesteven to an extent as well. So Lancashire are up to 18 after the second over. The loss of no wicket. Really good start, Scott.
Running's overrated, isn't it? Just dealing boundaries. It is a good start. Yeah.
They look comfortable and relaxed. They're seeing the ball really well.
Should be a good pitch here, yeah, and you should get decent value for your runs. It'd be a good batting surface here.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Blaze chose to bowl first. They obviously want to have first use of that wicket. We'll have to come up with some plans to constrain the scoring a bit.
Ballinger sets off, second over of the day. Still a slip in place. Just dropped away into the onside. And there is no run. I think this is the pitch that was used on Thursday for the men's match. It is. Lancashire played Worcestershire here on Thursday evening.
Did they win that match?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very happy place on Thursday.
I bet.
Not been many happy moments this season, but it certainly was on Thursday. Ballinger in. Appealing for an LBW. It felt like she maybe got something on that. No, leg bye has been given. You can try and work it away towards the leg side. Amy Clark umpiring at the Brian Statham end. Neil Pratt officiating at the James Anderson end. 19 without loss. Brings Mack back on strike. Left hand, right hand combination to open the batting for Lancashire Thunder. Ballinger's in again, bowls. Oh, it's gone for the ramp. It's Katie Mack. The keeper gets a glove on that. They scamper through for a single, but just rehearses the scoop at the non-striker's end.
Yeah, she's obviously feeling very bold at this early stage of the match. Got that Aussie swagger. Katie Mack.
She's had some good scores for Lancashire this season. A couple of half centuries. Top score of 84, which came in the one-day cup fixture against Surrey in Southport. Ballinger bowls again. That'll be 4 down to fine leg. Just helped on its way. 4 more for Lancashire Thunder. Score moves on to 24 without loss.
Yeah, they seem to be finding the gaps with ease.
There is a fine leg fielder in place, but reasonably square. Just able to help it around the corner for 4. Bright start this by Lancashire Thunder.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 balls left of the 3rd over. 24 on the board. Ballinger balls again, driven straight and firmly, and for 4 down the ground. Successive boundaries. 1 helped around the corner down to fine leg for 4. The second, a lovely straight drive. 28 on the board now.
Oh, that was a gorgeous drive, and you thought for a moment that the fielder was, well, ended up just kind of maybe got a fingertip to the ball or a couple of inches away from her fingertips, but it was a hapless dive in the end.
28 without loss. Ballinger balls again, turn to the leg side this time, be worth a single just out towards the left of mid-on. And it is fielded by Kirsty Gordon, the Blaze skipper. It's the end of a pretty good over that. The leg by, a couple of boundaries, couple of singles in there as well. 3 overs in. Lancashire Thunder, 29 runs on the board without the loss of a wicket. Kesteven on 15, Mack on 13. Nice, bright, positive start by these 2 opening batters.
Yeah, absolutely, and they seem to be seeing it really well. They're, you know, placing the ball where they want to go. They're no sort of lucky shots. You know, we saw Katie Mack with a bit of innovation, you know, getting into the scoop early doors. So, yeah, I think the Lancashire batters feeling quite confident and really relaxed into this bowling. So the skipper brings herself on now, Kirsty Gordon, see if she can settle things down a bit. Bowling from the James Anderson end to Kesteven. Just hits that straight back, no run. Kirsty Gordon, obviously a strike bowler for the Blaze, key wicket taker. Over the wicket to Kesteven, who hits that aerially. It's not going to go all the way to the boundary on the leg side, but they will run back for 2 runs. So Kirsty Gordon already sort of effecting a little bit of a, I mean, I wouldn't call it a full shot, but perhaps the first shot that wasn't entirely in control there for Kesteven. It was hit into space. Gordon in again to Kesteven, who just bats that to the leg side, no run. Gordon in from the Anderson end. Kesteven, now that's picked the gap, thrashed that through the onside. The fielders are going to give chase, and it's over the boundary. 3 fielders chasing that ball. The ball was the winner in the end. It's another 4 runs to the total for Kesteven.
Lovely shot. Going back, tall player.
Yes, yeah, tall, and that's the kind of shot we saw a lot of in that T20 Cup, in that match-winning, cup-winning innings. Lancashire fans will be really happy to see more of that. Gordon into Kestevan. She's hit that straight back. There is a fielder to clean up. I don't know if Kirsty Gordon got any fingertips to that at all to slow it down, but she did stick a hand out to try and catch it. But it was struck firmly enough to get past the bowler. The batter's through for 1 run, and Katie Mack will be facing Kirsty Gordon for the first time. Katie Mack batting right-handed. Gordon in. That's driven straight back to the bowler. So at the end of 4 overs, Lancashire are 36.
Yeah, good opening positive partnership here. Really good start. Kestevan 22, Mack on 13. Paul Shaw's going to come and join you at the end of the next over. I'd be really interested to get Paul's views on Tilly Kestevan. And look, just watching her, I mean, this is the first time I've seen her play live, but really calm approach to batting. Very, I mean, she's playing the ball quite late, letting the ball come to her, but not forcing it at all. It's really, really accomplished.
She's only 20 years old as well, and just, you know, batting with such maturity and poise and presence at the crease. A really exciting batter.
Doesn't look like she's kind of forcing it. Doesn't look like she's kind of chasing it.
And you hear her speak as well, and she speaks as she bats.
Here's Glenn in bowls. It's off the back foot. Worked out towards the leg side by Kestevan. Picked up at mid-wicket, no run.
So they've got their big gun spinners, Blaze, bowling from each end. Really wanting to get a wicket.
Yeah, need a breakthrough here, don't they? 36 on the board. We're in the 5th over. Pushed away off the front foot, back to Glenn. And there's no bowling, no addition to the score. They've got 2 fielders beyond the fielding circle. That's permitted in the power play. So deep mid-wicket and long on. Can they find a breakthrough here? The spinners in tandem. In and bowling. Chipped away through mid-on by Kestevan for a single. Seems to really be able to pick her shots out nicely too as well. Working the ball around, finding gaps. Playing late, not forcing it. Lovely timing. Impressive start. Picking up from where she left off on Monday at Taunton.
Absolutely. You know, I think that innings will have really, I mean, she will have known what she's capable of, but that will have really just shown herself and everybody what she can do.
Max on strike, 13 not out. And Glenn was about to come in and just checks back. Balls this time. Mac goes back, plays it late, plays it nicely for 4. Cut away through the offside. Again, as soon as it gets through that infield, the ball will skip along this surface pretty quickly to the boundary. 4 more.
That exactly bisected the 2 fielders there at point. Exactly in the middle. So well placed and a beautifully struck shot.
It's 41 without loss. Katie Mack moves to 17 from just 8 deliveries. Down the pitch she comes, drives away. 4 more through extra cover. It's a really nice display of batting here by both these two. Really lovely shot selection.
Absolutely, and you know what, the crowd is growing and they're really being treated by their home team to some fantastic batting.
45 without loss, 1 ball left of the 5th over. Katie Mack moves to 21. And problems here for Kirsty Gordon and for the Blaze as to how they try and find a breakthrough. So they've gone to kind of their gun spinners. Kirsty Gordon from one end and Glenn from this. And balls. Oh, no ball. It's worked out through the leg side by Mack. Just shuffling forward and nudging the ball away to mid-wicket, but just overstepping.
And that's a sign of, I think, the batters putting a little bit of pressure back onto the bowlers. You know, having won the toss, they'll have put Lancashire in. Certainly not expecting this result at this stage of the game. So perhaps a little bit of nerves and discomfort with the situation from the Blaze here.
Free hit as well for the no ball. 47 without loss. Final ball of the 5th. This is the free hit It's in the air. Well, it will be caught. But with the free hit, they take the single. It's the end of the 5th over. So 48 on the board, 5 overs gone. And a really positive start here, Faith, for Lancashire Thunder.
A very positive start for Thunder. The best possible start, you know, you might say. They're scoring quickly, they're picking their gaps, they're not taking any unnecessary risks. Everything just seems to be coming off the bat nicely. They're seeing the ball really well. Responding to the plans of the Blaze, who need to now come up with something if they're going to try and have a breakthrough and break this partnership.
Okay, I'll leave you. Paul Shaw, come and join you.
So they've turned to Cassidy McCarthy, who's going to be bowling from the James Anderson end. Right arm medium. And it'll be Kesteven to face. Cassidy into Kesteven. Now that hits her on the pads. There's a big appeal, but seems to be going down leg, I think. Nothing giving from the umpire. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome, Paul Shaw.
Thank you very much. Great to be back at Old Trafford, or Emirates Old Trafford. And a little bit of sun, actually, shining across the ground, Faye, which is always good. I did bring my sun cream just in case, because occasionally it does shine in Manchester, doesn't it? So they tell me.
Absolutely. Always pack your sun cream.
What a great start by Thunder.
A brilliant start. Cassidy McCarthy now into Katie Mack. Uses her feet. She hits that square. And they scamper through just for the 1 run. Yeah, really strong start for Lancashire. I don't think it will surprise many. They've been starting really well, whether opening the batting or chasing. It's a bit of a pattern this season for them, that having a strong start and taking it through to the middle. So they'll want to continue this way, I'm sure. Kesteven on strike. Cassidy in, and she's bowled up. Middle stump, middle of middle. Bails go flying. Finally, the breakthrough that the Blaze were after at 50 for 1.
Yeah, and this is a good delivery. Uses the angle from around the wicket into the left-hander. The ball continues on that angle. Pretty full ball. And the pace also of McCarthy is just a yard quicker than other bowlers perhaps on show today. So Stevenson made a good start, though. 24 off the 23 deliveries and got Thunder into a good position, which the dismissal of Stevenson brings in Seren Smale. Scores 50 for 1, and we're still inside the power play.
Yeah, so finally the Blaze get the breakthrough. Cassidy McCarthy, as you say, just a little bit, maybe a little bit faster than the other bowlers. Managed to just get past the bat on that angle. And Kesteven is back to the hutch. But having set the tone, I think, that the Lancashire batters will want to maintain.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a good young player coming through the academy, and has done a brilliant job. And yeah, she's certainly made a great start to her full debut as such. And in that last delivery, it was the angle, but also a little bit of swing in that delivery.
Seren Smale to face. It goes past the bat, retrieved by the keeper. Seren Smale, also a very, very good batter. She won't try to hang around. She plays her shots, plays very positively. We'll want to keep this good start going for Lancashire. McCarthy over the wicket to Smale. That's driven through the covers. That's going to go away for 4. The fielders are just jogging after it to retrieve the ball. There'll be no chasing that ball. Very nicely off the mark for Seren Smale.
Yeah, that's a great shot. We can see Seren Smale just getting into stride nicely there. Good base to strike the ball from, and uses the body to actually get momentum through the ball and times the ball beautifully away across the square for a very well timed 4 runs, and she's off the mark.
McCarthy into Smale. Oh, that's bounced really high. She's that's been called a wide by the umpire. Don't know if that slipped off her hands or sort of mistimed bouncer as attempted, but it's a bit of a wild bounce for high above Seren Smale's head. She'll have to bowl that one again.
Yeah, just a little bit too short there. I mean, she does have the pace, does McCarthy, and does look to bowl bounces from time to time.
Into Smale. That's defended.
Incidentally, the run rate at the moment by the Thunder batting unit is 9.60, so still in the power play, and the score's on 56 for 1 with 1 ball remaining in that power play.
McCarthy, and that's defended by Smale. So a really good over for the Blaze from McCarthy. The wicket of Tilly Kesteven. Lancashire have scored 56 after 9.3 overs. No, I thought that was the end of the over there. After 6 overs, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, it's a really good power play from Lancashire Thunder. They'll be delighted with that. Of course, was a new partnership at the top of the order, wasn't it? With obviously Jones being injured and Lamb being called into the England team. Of course, played yesterday in the one-day international, so it brought Mack and Stevenson together.
Kirsty Gordon. That's driven straight to the fielder at cover. It's Katie Mack back on strike.
Kirsty Gordon, of course, the Blaze captain, is very competitive, isn't she? So she'll do all she can.
Definitely in. And that's hit firmly. There's a fielder to stop that from getting past the ring. So 2 dots to start this over. Yes, absolutely. She's known for her competitive fighting spirit, Kirsty Gordon, and won't be happy at being taken for 9 and over in the power play. And with the fielders now able to spread her field a bit more, they'll want to contain Lancashire. As she's into Katie Mack, who pulls that hard. 1 bounce for 4. Really good shot. Katie Mack continues her momentum.
Yeah, it's a great shot, this. Mack picks the length very, very quickly. It's a drag down, rocks back onto the back foot, creates space, and hits that ball really hard through the infield there, through a relatively vacant mid-wicket, and beats the 2 sweepers on the boundary for 4 more runs for Lancashire Thunder.
Gordon into Mack, uses her feet. There is a fielder to cut that one off. Well recovered by Kirsty Gordon after that boundary.
Mack already on 27 of 15 deliveries, I think.
Gordon into Katie Mack. Hits that straight and goes through for 1 run.
What Mack will do is she'll look to obviously hit the boundary. She times it quite well, and she's a very busy cricketer, so she'll be pushing Seren Smale to run 2. So with the field going out now, there's opportunities and little pockets for 2s as well as boundaries from time to time. So I'm sure that will be part of Mack's plan.
Gordon into Smale, defends that.
It's well bowled that to finish that over.
At the end of 7 overs. Lancashire on 61, the loss of 1 wicket. That was Kesteven, who was clean bowled by Cassidy McCarthy.
I had a chat with the ground staff before the game. They said this is the pitch that the men played on just a couple of days ago against Rapids, where 170 played 170 odd. And just out of power play, it didn't look easy to get the ball away when the boys bowled round about short of a length and put the fielders out square. It looked quite difficult to get away. So if the Blaze bowlers are able to hit the length for this pitch, it could bring themselves back in the game and frustrate the Thunder players. But I have to say the Thunder have made a great start at 61 for 1, just off 7 overs.
Sarah Glenn with ball in hand, just getting the position of the umpire right for her run up. Sarah Glenn bowling to Katie Mack from the James Anderson end. Katie Mack shuffles down, hits that straight to long on, 1 run. Just calling in her square fielder, Sarah Glenn, back into the ring. Sarah Smale on strike now. Sarah Glenn in. Oh, Smale takes a bit of a swing at that. She off the back foot, but doesn't connect. Retrieved by the keeper.
Yeah, Glenn doesn't necessarily spin the ball a long way for a leg spinner, but she does bowl a lot of top spinners, so she just gets that little bit of bounce and the ball goes straight on a lot.
And that's hit straight on the offside.
So Glenn does get a lot of LBWs and balls bowling wicket to wicket, and often the batters play for that little bit of spin when it doesn't spin, so it'll be an interesting phase of play, this.
Katie Mack on strike. Glenn over the wicket. Oh, she's reversed her bat, and that's going all the way to the boundary. A switch hit from Katie Mack there. And that's travelled at speed past backward point. 4 more runs.
It has premeditated shot, this, but what a great shot that is. And the ball just bounces and spins past, I think, an experienced, actually. I think it's Georgia Elwes at backward point. I'm not sure, actually. I can't quite see. My eyes might just be failing me at the ripe old age that I am.
Glenn into Mack. This time she pulls that one square. There is a fielder there to cut it off. They'll get through for 1 run. Yeah, she's got lots of shots in her locker, Katie Mack. I think that is Georgia Elwes there at point. Birthday girl. Happy birthday to Georgia Elwes. Sarah Glenn. And that's cut to point, past point. There is a fielder going to retrieve that. Sarah Smale scampering back for 2. And they make 2 runs easily. So Lancashire re-establishing control perhaps at the end of the 8th over there. 70 for 1.
Yeah, just what we were talking about towards the back end of that over, we saw both batters really pushing hard, turning 1s into 2s, and I think that's a really important strategy, I guess, and technique in the mid-overs, as well as those out of power play boundaries. That hard running and turning 1s into 2s, I think, is really important. But just looking at the score now, as you say, 70 for 1 off just 8 overs, a run rate of 8.75, and Katie Mack, the Australian overseas, has got 34 off just 19 deliveries, so it's a great platform that the Lancashire Thunder top 3 have created for the rest of this innings.
Georgia Elwes now with bowling hand, bowling to Katie Mack, who just pushes that into the leg side, runs hard through for 1 run, starts off on another, but there's no time to get that second run. Yeah, I do agree with you about the running those hard 2s, and you know, Katie Mack and Sarah Smale are athletic players who will try and get those runs, and that's something that Lancashire have been doing really well this season in all their wins, is not just boundaries but running those hard 2s, 3s when they're available. Into, and that's struck by Sarah Smale into the leg side. You always see Katie Mack sort of halfway back for another run, no matter the situation. So it's a really kind of positive attitude to have, always ready. She's so rapid across the turf, but of course also watchful of her partner on the other side. Elwes into Katie Mack. That's hit high. It's going to land safely. Backward square leg. Just the 1 run from that shot, but that did go aerially. No fielders directly underneath it, but the Blaze won't be too upset about seeing that go high. Georgia Elwes, Sarah Smale into the leg side. 1 more run. So rotating the strike when they can't get the boundaries away. Really important to keep that scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, for sure. And the way Smale has started, she's getting in good positions and hitting the ball hard down the ground, which is a really good sign for her and for this Thunder team.
Elwes into Mack, straight back to the bowler.
very experienced performer, Elvis, isn't she? When I was England coach many years ago now, she was in the England squad as a developing cricketer, and very useful with the bat and with the ball, and ball's decent lengths, but actually mixes up the pace quite a lot. So as the game goes on, she could be a good performer for the Blaze.
Elvis into Mac, who attempts a scoop, doesn't get anywhere, but yeah, she's still looking to use all parts of the ground. At the end of 9 overs, Lancashire 74 for 1.
And a good over there from Georgia Elvis. She's just pulled the Blaze back into the game slightly and stemmed the boundaries as such for the Thunder batters. Katie Mack and Seren Smale are in the middle at the moment and are forming a decent partnership. Smale's got 9 off 9 and Mack 36 off 23, and scores 74 for 1 with the 11 overs remaining in this game. So the scene is set, the platform's there, and be a case of the Lancashire Thunder team really see if they can post around about 160. I would think they will have their eye on at this point in time.
The wicket taker Cassidy McCarthy is bowling now from the James Anderson end. Into Smale, who pulls that straight to a fielder, square leg. He did get through for 1 run.
Yeah, she's just got half a yard, McCarthy, hasn't she? And not afraid to bowl the short ball. But the pleasing thing there is Smale's picked the length well and got into a really good position early, hasn't she, to play that pull shot.
McCarthy into Katie Mack. Takes a swing and a miss. Retrieved by the keeper, dot ball.
Just a reminder of the people outside of the circle, seeing as we're out of the power play. We've got deep cover, fine leg, deep square leg, and a deep mid wicket.
McCarthy into Katie Mack. And that's cut behind. Diving fielder, but it's going to go for 4 runs. Another 4 runs to off the bat of Katie Mack.
Yeah, Katie Mack moves on to 40. We just got a chance to look at the replay. A thick outside edge, and it just got past the despairing dive of short third. The ball run towards the boundary for 4 runs.
Good over for Lancashire so far. McCarthy into Katie Mack, takes a few steps towards the ball and misses again. That goes past the bat.
Ooh.
Now, so she's taking a run. There's a little bit of a mix-up with the fielding. The keeper sort of rolled it back towards the bowler, and Katie Mack saw that as an opportunity to get through for 1 quick run. Seren Smale wasn't quite on the same page, but she did get on board quickly enough to to get through safely.
We had both batters almost at the same end, both at the non-strikers end at one moment, having what could have been a fairly tricky conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
But they managed to get through. Well bowled though by McCarthy. She bowled a slow ball, I think. Then.
Absolutely. And that's driven by Seren Smale. There'll be 1 run. She's always looking for that extra run, isn't she, Katie Mack? That feels like a very kind of Australian thing almost, like leave no runs out there.
Absolutely, and I think it's a really good mindset to have. And talking to the coaching staff here at Thunder, her attitude and character has had a ripple effect across the squad, so that's positive too.
Wonderful signing for the team. That's driven straight to fielder at short extra cover. No run. Good stop.
It's a good stop. That was hit hard and it bounced probably half volley. This wasn't easy across the wicket ends there. Scores 81 for 1 off 10 overs, so it's a really good start for the Thunder batting unit. They'll be delighted, and Blaze will just be looking to pull this game back in the middle period of this game. And 10 overs left, scores 81 for 1. Smale's on 11. And Mack is on 40 off 20.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, David. How are you?
You pop up in all the nicest of places. We were at Headingley earlier on in the week together. And now we've come across to the red side.
What I have to ask though, Dave, probably the most important question of the day: have you brought any cherry bakewells? Because at Headingley they were fantastic.
Well, you get better looked after here. We better whisper that. Here's Catherine Bryce then to start the 11th over. This is turned away onto the leg side by Seren Smale. Did a game last night. Paul, 160, played 160 to get the blast underway for the Blaze, and we're on course for something similar here. 80 at the halfway stage. But to start with a tie at Trent Bridge last night was just a terrific way to get the competition underway for the women, as the next ball from Catherine Bryce eased into the offside, and they come back for a couple of runs. Just sat with Bumble next door, and there was one observation we were both sort of making. They've perhaps left a run or two out there. They've been taking comfortable singles so far, the Thunder, instead of pushing hard for two, but I think that's got to change now. They need to put the toe down. 84 for one. Next ball is driven crisply up to mid-off, and they'll take the run. Throw from Georgia Elwis is, in fact, it's Kirsty Gordon, the skipper, narrowly off target. It's a bit of a mixed bag in the field last night from the Blaze. A couple of excellent catches. There was a direct hit as well to execute a run out at a crucial time. Broke the opening partnership, but there were also one or two misfields, and a chance or two went down. Next ball is driven down the ground by Smale for another run. 86 for one. Just can't put the brakes on the scoring, can they? That's
the challenge, isn't it? The Thunder got off to such a good start. They're actually then slowing it down is difficult, and because I think in this phase of play, as you rightly said, they're just beginning to look to run twos a lot better than they were probably in the power play.
Catherine Bryce balls a delivery that's dug in nice and short, but it's really nicely handled by Katie Mack. She got into a position, she obviously picked up the length of that delivery very quickly, realised it was short, but then it seemed to get on to her quickly, and she improvised by just helping it on its way, scooping it past Sarah Bryce, the keeper, for another boundary.
Yeah, she looked to reverse, didn't she, but just managed to get enough on that ball, and as you rightly say, it's just gone over the Sarah Bryce, the keeper.
Sarah's sister Catherine bowling the next delivery, which is turned up to mid-on for a run. That's the end of the over. Catherine Bryce was on strike the last ball of the match at Trent Bridge last night, wanting two, and there was only ever a single. They sort of made a token effort to try and get back for the second, but Maddie Green was, well, she was barely in the picture. She was run out by a long way. So honours even last night at Trent Bridge between the Blaze and the Bears. How will this one pan out over the next hour and a half, 2 hours?
So two good games yesterday then, because I actually listened to you and watched you on live stream with the men's game afterwards.
Crikey.
Notts Outlaws knocking off 226. What a game that was.
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
Shot.
Kirsty Gordon bowling, and this is hit away through the leg side. Nice looking shot by Katie Mack. She goes to a half century from 32 deliveries. She's fairly short in stature, but she doesn't half pack a punch. She's played some delightful shots over the course of this 11 and a bit overs. Next delivery is again driven down the ground. There'll be just one. Oh, hang on, there's a slight misfield in the deep by Cassidy McCarthy. She did well to get there, and almost like a swimmer doing a tumble turn, she went head over heels, and the ball got away from it.
Yeah, Katie Mack's playing a really good innings here, and also really looking to push hard, hitting gaps, looking to run hard.
Kirsty Gordon balls just held that one back a little bit, the slow left arm spinner, and attempted reverse from Katie Mack. It's straight to the fielder. There's no run. Wickets in hand here. Really good opportunity for the Thunder to post a big score, and that's turned away nicely to deep mid-wicket. Marie Kelly out there, and ball has got underneath her. That probably should have been stopped. A couple of runs escaping the Blaze there. I think it was always going to be 2, but should have been stopped on the boundary edge.
Yeah, it's a good shot from Max. She gets down the pitch, hits the ball hard into the pocket, but actually, yeah, disappointing, that little bit of fielding on the boundary.
Kirsty Gordon in again, drops this on the leg side and turned away to deep mid-wicket for 1 run. Be an interesting comparison between the 2 slow left armers, Kirsty Gordon skippering the Blaze, and of course Sophie Eccleston playing for the Thunder today. There's Gordon in once more. Next one's cut through the offside and away for 4. It was just a little too short and sat up. It was an open invitation for Seren Smale just to cut it away. Square on the offside. Lovely looking shot, and the Thunder, as we were just saying, just needed to pick up the tempo a little bit, and that was a really good over from 15 in that over. Not really helped by 1 or 2 slight misfields in the deep, one from Cassidy McCarthy and one from Marie Kelly.
Yeah, Thunder's just put the foot down here, but they've put the foot down in a percentage way, so they're not taking undue risk. They're just looking to get to the pitch, rock back also, and look to hit the ball hard and hit the gaps, and they've done that incredibly well in the last couple of overs. But really important here for Blaze just to slow this. The runs are accumulating and flowing quite naturally for Thunder. It's important they get themselves back into the game.
Georgia Elwes back into the attack. 1 over earlier on for 4 runs. Oh, that's a good catch. Sarah Glenn at point. A really, really sharp catch. Excellent bit of fielding. She just plucked that out of the air magnificently. And Katie Mack's innings ends on 59. An absolute top draw catch there by Sarah Glenn. And, well, she didn't even really over-egg the celebration, did she? She knew that was a good one.
What a great catch that was, because Max hit that ball pretty hard, hasn't she? And then what a wonderful catch from Sarah Glenn. One-handed, just plucked that one out of the sky, because that ball was travelling. And that's a wicket for Blaze that they wanted as well. Katie Mack, 59 off just 37 deliveries, and hopefully they'll be looking to wrestle back a little bit more momentum now on the back of that wicket. And what that does do, it brings Fee Morris, that loves T20 format of cricket, to the wicket, and Lancs Thunder at 106 for 2.
Another right-hander wearing number 31 out there, taking guard from our umpire Amy Clark. If Sarah Glenn had thrown that skywards and done a couple of laps of the Old Trafford outfield, I don't think anybody could have blamed her. That was a really good catch, but she just took it in a stride. She's very nonchalant in the celebrations. There's Elwes into Fee Morris, and another precious dot ball as Morris just has a little look at the bowling and eases it back to her. Sun just trying to break through here. It's been by and large a cloudy morning. Made my way up from Nottingham, obviously fairly early on. Cloud followed me from the East Midlands, but I think the Sun's trying its level best to come and join us this afternoon. Elwes in to Fee Morris. She's off the mark, just turning it away behind square, out into the deep to Maddie Green. 1 run.
Yeah, that got Fee Morris off the mark, so she's now in a position where she'll want to be really positive in this phase of play. But it's important to get herself in while scoring runs.
There's Elwes. Right arm medium pace of bowls, just short of the length, pulled out into the leg side, out to Catherine Bryce. 1 more to Thunder. 108 for 2 in the 13th over.
We've got 1 or 2 in as well, Dave, haven't we? 1 or 2 is a nice fluttering of people around the ground, which is good to see, and I'm sure as the afternoon goes on that will build.
Yep, great value, of course, with your tickets. Buy 1 get 1 free. You can get 2 matches for your purchase price. As Elwes comes in and bowls to Morris, drives it down the ground. Fielded by Marie Kelly here, who'll open the batting for the Blaze in half an hour, 40 minutes time or whatever. Another single, 109 for 2, 1 ball left in the 13th. So this has been a very good over so far for the Blaze. Just 3 runs and that wicket of Katie Mack. There's Elvis in once more. Sarah Bryce standing up to the wicket, and this is pushed back past the bowler for a single. So just 4 from that over, and it's really just the stemming momentum that the Blaze were looking for. 110 for 2 after 13. 10 and over from here would be 180, and after the start, I would think the Thunder would be eyeing up something of that sort of proportion.
Yeah, I think they will certainly be looking to target 180, be happy with 170, be slightly disappointed with 160. But the next couple of overs is really important for both teams. I mean, I'm just looking at Georgia Elvis's figures there, about 2 overs, 1 for 8 in those 2 overs. So she's been really important in just stemming the flow of runs from this Lancashire batting unit, and Blaze will be happy with that. And it's really important that she's backed up at the other end and bowlers bowl in partnership, and if they can do that over the next 2 or 3 overs, then that momentum might just shift a little way back to the Blaze.
Grace Ballinger back into the attack. She bowled 2 overs at the start of the innings from our end of the ground, the media centre end, the Brian Statham end. Now switching to the far end. She's going to be going round the wicket with a left arm, medium fast. First 2 overs went for 15 runs. And she comes to bowl to Smale. We'll just drop this on the leg side. She's picked a gap nicely, but there'll only be a single. So Nelson on the board for the superstitious. You need to lift your feet off the ground now. You believe all that sort of stuff? Do you salute your magpies?
That's easy for me. My little legs. Yeah, I should say there's just a breeze blowing across the ground, so it's Thunder will be thinking about which way they'll be looking to strike the ball into if they're going into the air. Go with the wind.
Ballinger in now to Fee Morris, who's fresh at the crease. This one's pitched up outside off. It was full-length delivery from Ballinger, which wasn't taken cleanly by Sarah Bryce, but no damage done. It just ran a pace or 2 behind it. So another precious dot ball. It really is the commodity that the fielding side are always looking for in this format. Sarah Glenn at backward point. Just wondering if she can pull off another superb catch if something comes her way. This one instead is turned on the leg side by Morris. She's run the first one, and that's all there'll be. Seems like at the fall of the wicket, Kirsty Gordon has obviously got all the players together, all the Blaze players together in that huddle, and just emphasised the need now to be right on their game. No more misfields. Everybody, if you're on the one, get tight in on the one. Let's try and put a little bit of pressure back on the Thunder. As Ballinger bowls now, hit to deep mid-wicket, but there's protection out there. Just a single. That's Catherine Bryce. Has found a way over on the point side of the ground. 113 for 2. And conversely, Thunder know they've got wickets in hand here, and they'll be looking to rattle along 8, 9s and 10s and over from here on in. Good over so far from Birmingham-born Ballinger. And there's number 1, and this one is down the leg side and just helped on its way. Cassidy McCarthy is fielding.
Yeah, you're right. It's been a good over, hasn't it, so far? It's about finishing off this over now. So Thunder will be looking to get a boundary off this over, and Blaze will clearly be looking to get a dot ball and finish the over really strongly.
It's quite a culture shock from commentating at Trent Bridge last night, which, even though the rope was pushed out, it's a very small ground in comparison to Old Trafford as Ballinger bowls. And again, there's a lot of energy put into that shot by Seren Smale, but it's only 1, and 5 runs coming from that over, 5 singles and a dot. Grace Ballinger and indeed her skipper Kirsty Gordon will take that all day long.
Yeah, for sure. They're just wrestling just a little bit of momentum back from Thunder. The last 2 overs that we've seen have not gone for that many runs. So there could be a little bit of frustration building, and the conversation that both bats are having in the middle now, I'm sure we'll be looking to hit the ball hard and hit the gaps and run, turn ones into twos. We know that'll be the conversation. But from Blazers' perspective, as I said, they're just wrestling this momentum back. So they have a real chance here. And Georgia Elvis, this over, again, is quite a crucial over. If she can get out this over in a good place, then they're back in the game.
So it's to be Elvis to bowl to Smale. This one, well, I was just waiting for the umpire to stretch out her arms. I fancy it went full down the leg side and was stopped by the pads of Sarah Bryce, but might just have brushed the batter's pads. I was expecting that to be called for the leg side wide, but it wasn't. Dot ball. Here comes Elvis again. Needs to get a line right. It's pulled away, and this might just find the gap on the leg side. No, it's a really good bit of fielding.
It is.
It's Catherine Bryce again.
Excellent. I was watching Bryce then out on the boundary, and as soon as the batter went on, just rocked back onto that ball, she was already moving, so anticipating really well, got to the ball quickly. Really good stop, good throw in. That's really important, isn't it?
Yeah. She's doing the long yards as well, deep mid-wicket on both sides with the 2 right-handers there. This one's floated up, and Fee Morris plays all around it, nestles in the gloves of Sarah Bryce. Marie Kelly's long on to long on, and Catherine Bryce deep mid-wicket to deep mid-wicket at the moment.
Good first 3 balls, isn't it? Just 1 run off Elvis's 3 deliveries.
Brakes have been put on. Can the shackles be... Oh, dear. Can the shackles be freed? Yes, they can. That's going to be 5 to the total. Speared down the leg side for a wide, and it's gone all the way. Fast outfield. There was no chance of that being cut off. So, just as you were saying, Paul.
Yeah. Just that's so frustrating, isn't it, for Elvis, for the Gordon, the captain, but for everyone in that side, because they know the last 3 overs and the first 3 balls of this over, just wrestling that game back, and then all of a sudden it's a free one down the leg side.
Sarah Bryce standing up. She's made that decision. She's staying there as Elvis bowls, and this one's hit into the leg side. Catherine Bryce out there does well. I think she was actually the other side of the boundary rope when she poured the ball back in. Did really well there. There's a couple of runs. Nicely done by Catherine Bryce. But Sister Sarah, with the keeper's gloves on, she made the decision to stand up to Georgia Elvis. I'm pretty sure had she been back in a normal standing position, fairly deep to Elvis, then that wouldn't have been 5 wide. It's just been the 1. As it is, we've got 2 balls left in the 15th. 123 for 2. 8 from this over already. 2 balls left. Short. Nicely taken by Sarah Bryce. Oh, it's called a wide. So just about to sing the praises, but a quick consultation between the 2 umpires. Square leg umpire Neil Pratt just gave the nod that it was too high. So this could be the big over that Thunder were looking for, just to get them going again. 124 for 2, 9 from it so far.
And a great first 3 balls, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Dot 1 dot. Wheels have just come off in this over for Georgia Elvis. She comes in again, leg sidey, and just turned out to deep square leg where Maddie Green will field. No nonsense fielding there. Just gathered the ball, got it in quickly, got it in the air quickly. So just a single. 125 for 2. Important for Elvis to get out of this over now. Still got respectable figures. 1 for 18, 1 ball left in a third.
She's got a ball tight to the stumps here because everyone's up on the offside.
Smale has 23 from 21. She does just that. So another single. 126 for 2. 11 from that over. And we're getting towards the business end of this innings. 126 for 2. The players dismissed. Tilika Stephen bowled by Cassidy McCarthy for 24. Katie Mack, good catch by Sarah Glenn from the bowling of Georgia Elvis for 59. 126 for 2 with 5 overs left. Welcome back, Scott.
Cheers, Dave. Just looking at the bowling figures and the card there, and Lancashire's run rate, which has been pretty steady through the course of the innings so far. The little spurt pushing up towards 15, 16 in an over. Smale on 24. Oh, it could be a stumping chance. There is. She's gone. Nice work from the keeper, Sarah Bryce. And Smale coming down the pitch, looking to hit back over the top. Is swinging and missing and being stumped. And Lancashire Thunder lose their third wicket, 126-4-3. And Faith Florence is back alongside me.
Charging back the Blaze now, aren't
Yes,
they? It's a good job that Thunder got off to that very strong start. Lost a few quick wickets in the last couple of overs, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it'll be definitely what the Blaze will have needed to do to wrest a little bit of control back of this match. But Thunder have got off to such a good start that they should still be expected to just keep launching from here, keep going hard.
Well, they've got a terrific platform to do that, haven't they? With so much resources left, just 3 wickets down, they can have a real go at this. 2 good, clean hitters of the ball here as well together. So they've got a real chance.
Is that Sophie Eccleston?
It is, yeah it is.
There he was thrown by the scoreboard temporarily. That had Ellie Threlkeld coming out, but just as we were discussing, Thunder want to keep going hard. I think Sophie Eccleston is probably the best choice to come in at this stage. 5 overs left.
Stumping with the first ball of the 16th over. So Eccleston on strike. It's off the back foot. Just pulls that away down towards fine leg. We talk about power, but that's about placement. That's a lovely timing from Sophie Eccleston. Off the mark straight away.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's why she's been sent out to bat now at this stage of the game. Thunder want to keep aiming to get up to that good score that everyone would have expected the way they started, that they could get up to, you know, 160, 170, 180 even. And having just lost Seren Smale, who can also hit a really big ball. Sophie Eccleston, a good replacement.
Looks to sweep. That might be 4 more, actually. It is 4 more. It's terrific
Gorgeous
shot
shot
by Sophie Eccleston. Back-to-back boundaries.
She's put on a bit of a sweeping masterclass, Sophie Eccleston, which I don't think I've said those words before.
It's a really nicely timed sweep. She's got a long way forward. Real big, expansive sweep across that front pad down towards fine leg. Clever batting from Sophie Eccleston. 2 balls faced. Back-to-back boundaries. 134 for 3. It's just off the back foot this time. And pushed away into the offside. No run.
She's got that distinctive ponytail at the back of her blonde ponytail from the back of her helmet. She hasn't got her name or number on the back of her shirt, but you know that it's Sophie Eccleston.
Yes, the type of cricketer that doesn't need a name or a number on the back of the shirt. Well, there might be 2 here. That's just nudged away towards the edge of the circle. They've gone through the first. No, just a single added. It was placed by Eccleston towards the very edge of the circle, as if maybe I could just turn and come back for the second, but the fielder coming up from deep mid-wicket pretty quickly. So 135 for 3, 1 ball left of the over. Brings Fee Morris on strike. It's worked in the air, a little uppish, but safe enough for another single, and Morris keeps a strike. End of the over. 4 left, 136 for 3, 4 overs remaining. Eccleston on 9 and Morris on 8. What do you reckon, Faith? What do you think they might be able to squeeze out here in their final 4 overs?
Well, I mean, earlier on we were talking about getting up to about 180. 4 overs left. That would, well, it's quite a big ask. That would require about 45, 50 runs off the last 4, which, okay, maybe that's a lot to aim for, but I think they'd be perhaps disappointed to get anything less than 160. I think with the wickets in hand, you can certainly put on a minimum another 30 runs for the last 4 overs.
Yeah.
So they'd want to get 160 or above and maybe get up to that 180 score, which they set up so nicely at the start of the innings.
I feels, if they can try and push towards that, a very, very good score.
Yeah, for sure. So it's Catherine Bryce with ball in hand to do something about that. They're going to need to field really tightly here, the Blaze. We saw Sophie Eccleston placing some really nice shots in that previous over. It wasn't about the power, it was about placement, so the fielders need to be on top of it. As Bryce is into Morris, hits that straight back to the bowler. She's a good bowler for this situation, Catherine Bryce. Bowls a really neat length and line. Bowls to her field. And Fee Morris just switches her bat to try and penetrate that backward point. Goes straight to the fielder. So a good start for Catherine Bryce in this over. I mean, this is over where Lancashire will really want to try and get away and keep those boundaries flowing. So very good start from Bryce as she's in. Uses her feet, Fee Morris, and hits straight down the ground, straight to the fielder, 1 run. Puts Sophie Eccleston back on strike. She just wanders down a bit to say something to Fee Morris before she goes back to position.
Yeah, not surprised to see boundary riders both on the rope behind the bowler, long off, long on. And then 2 on the leg side boundary, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg. We know the power that Sophie's got, but also, as we've seen already in this little cameo, the placement as well.
Yeah, those sweeps in the last over. She's gone back for a similar position, but straight to square leg this time. Sweeper at square leg, 1 run. I think, yeah, she's looking for that gap there behind backward square leg, isn't she? And she had a bit of success in the last over. Catherine Bryce will be alert to that. Won't want to let Thunder get away with that again. Bryce into Morris, uses her feet to hits that straight down the ground to the fielder. 1 more run. Really good over so far from Catherine Bryce. 1 ball left in this over.
Yeah, just 3 off it so far.
She want to make sure that this isn't a boundary off the last ball. Sophie Eccleston just skews that into the onside, offside rather, and that's a dot ball to finish the over. So really good over from Catherine Bryce there, just 3 runs off it.
Yeah, that is something you mentioned about the experience that they've got there to bowl here at the back end of the innings, and that's outstanding. 6 deliveries, wasn't it? There was nothing there really to try and work with. Bowling pretty straight, wicket to wicket. Not a great deal of pace on it. Not a lot else I don't think Morris or Eccleston could do.
No.
Challenge might come from with this. Spin to continue from the Anderson end. Kirsty Gordon to send down the 18th over of the innings. There's the sweep again by Morris, but short fine leg, he's inside the circle. Finish bottom edge on the bat there. Fielded by Grace Ballinger at short fine, no run. So dot ball to start the over, 139 for 3. In comes Gordon, balls, it's flat to Morris and pulled out towards the leg side. It's gathered on the boundary by Kirk. Single for Morris, moves to 11. Now where's Sophie going to look here? Sophie Eccleston back on strike. Long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square leg.
She's always searching, isn't she?
It's Gordon into Eccleston. There's that sweep again, just kind of swatted out towards the leg side. Should bring her a couple. It does. It's good work actually on the boundary rope by Kirk to stop it. With tumbling stop and a good throw, but there's always 2 there.
Very good work. If they can keep Lancashire to less than 160, I think the Blaze will be quite happy with this back end of the innings.
It's 142 for 3 at the minute, halfway through the 18th. Gordon in, balls again to Eccleston. Half an appeal for LBW as Eccleston looks to sweep. Neil Pratt officiating at the Anderson end. Very gentle shake of the head saying not out. 142 for 3. Is Gordon to Eccleston over the wicket, down the pitch and chipped up through mid-on. just be one. Nicholson moves to 13. And the score moves to 143 for 3. 1 ball remaining of the 18th over. Brings Fee Morris back on strike. Little twirl of the bat. And settles back into the crease. Keeper crouching down behind the stumps. Around the wicket Gordon comes. Morris coming forward and finding a lovely shot through cover. Managed to find a gap there, Faith, and there wasn't much gap to be found. But
indeed, beautifully guided there through the covers, and a very, very nice shot from Fee Morris. That's the boundary that Lancashire needed, having been squeezed a bit by the Blaze. Some very good fielding and very disciplined bowling. But a talent like Fee Morris can definitely find that kind of gap to push Lancashire on to 147 for 3 after 18 overs. So 2 overs remaining. Lancashire definitely would want to get up to that 160 at least, if not more. Can they get 15, 20 runs off the last 2 overs? I'm sure they'll do everything they can. And it's the very experienced Georgia Elwis who's going to try and contain them here at the end of this batting innings for Lancashire.
Who bowls the final over, do we reckon? Kirsty Gordon has now bowled out, hasn't she?
Georgia Elwis into Sophie Eccleston, who hits that hard, but just through for 1 run, straight down the ground. Not quite making the connection that she would like to penetrate the field. Some really good bowling from Georgia Elwis. Fee Morris will have a go now, see if she can replicate that shot from the last ball of the last over, the previous over. She hits that high, that goes aerially, that goes fine down to third. It's going to be 4 more runs. So not quite the finesse of that previous ball I was mentioning, but it doesn't matter. Thick Edge takes that down to the fine leg boundary. Sorry, the third boundary, and another 4 runs, 152 for 3. So Lancashire looking good to get well past that 160. Still plenty of balls. 10 precisely to add to the total as Elwis is in. This time she's sweeping hard. There is a fielder there on the fine leg boundary to cut that off, so just the 1 run.
It's good by Morris, though, isn't it? Keeping it ticking over here. Thickish edge down to third for 4 of the previous delivery. Just takes a single off the next ball, brings Eccleston back on strike.
Definitely. I think at this stage, with all these wickets in hand, a dot ball is practically a crime. You want runs or get another batter in as Elwis is in. And she hits that high, Sophie Eccleston. 1 bounce 4. 1 bounce 4, but pass backwards square leg. And that was a powerful shot, high in the air. Fielder's nowhere near it, so really well placed as well.
It was, wasn't it? There's an element of risk about it, but it's kind of calculated risk because she knows that there's a fielder on the leg side boundary. There's a deep backward square leg, but enough on that from the bat, and that's not bringing that fielder into the game.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they need to do. Just, you know, take those calculated risks. There's no need for caution at this stage. You've got plenty of batters that can come in. Each ball is almost a free hit. I mean, it doesn't have to be approached like that as Elwis is in to Eccleston, who hits that hard through the leg side. Fielder will cut it off for 1 run. They're coming back for 2 runs. Very well run 2 runs. Georgia Elwis does whip off the bails, but Fee Morris is very safely home. That's a really well run 2 there.
It's such an important part of batting here as well. Yeah. It's a big outfield, and you look at the gaps that you can try and find. Running, I mean, I know lots of supporters want to see 4s and 6s, don't they? But actually, in terms of building a score, running is so important here.
Agreed, as Elwis is in to Sophie Eccleston, makes a bit of room. Hits that aerially, 3 for 1 run. This time there definitely isn't another run on the arm. But that's a good over for Lancashire. They've got up to 160 for 3 with 6 balls remaining.
Well, they got to that 160 you wanted, with a bit to come, potentially here.
Indeed.
Feels like a good score this. I mean, you're never quite sure until you obviously both sides of a bat, and there's some very, very good batting in that Blaze side. Feels like good runs to have on the board, though.
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, I mean, like you say, you don't know until both sides have batted, but, you know, when you compare it to the way they started and the momentum they've been building through the innings, the strike rate that all the batters have been going at, then, yeah, you feel 160 is a good score. And a few more onto the total could just make this really hard work for the Blaze when it's their turn to bat.
Indeed, it's going to be Grace Ballinger to finish things off. All 3 overs, I think. All 3 from this Brian Statham end. Certainly her opening 2 came from this end. From 23, and she's got the job. Trying to finish this off with the Blaze. Eccleston's on strike. Here comes Ballinger, left arm around. Bowls to Eccleston, swept away. Powerful sweep by Eccleston. Likes that shot. Up towards a square leg boundary just for a single. 22 now to Sophie Eccleston. So 161 for 3. 5 balls left. Fee Morris back on strike. 20 not out.
She does like that sweep shot today and has been using it very effectively.
She wants cover out and she wants fine leg back to the boundary. So there's a fine leg, there's a deep mid wicket, long on, and a sweeper on the cover boundary. One fielder inside the circle on the leg side, which is at square leg. Ballinger around the wicket, bowls full to Morris, who drives away and scampers through for a single. McCarthy coming up to field from point. 162 for 3. So far, Grace Ballinger sent down 2 very good deliveries. Just a single coming off each one. Eccleston waits. Ballinger around the wicket, goes big, goes high, more height than distance, and should be gone. Is. McCarthy takes the catch. Coming up from point, Eccleston looking for a big shot at the back end of the innings, looking for boundaries. But Ballinger's sent down so far 3 very good deliveries in this final over. 162 now for 3, 4.
Yeah, very good delivery, and looks like Sophie Eccleston trying to loft that out straight or towards cow corner, but not quite timing it, and it's just skewed up to point where very easily caught there. She trudges off, so it'll be Ellie Threlkeld, the skipper now, to face the next ball. We've got 3 balls left in the over. Can she push up to that 170 with Fee Morris? They need every run they can. The Blaze more than capable of chasing down a big score. They've been very successful as a team in T20 in the previous regional setup, and they'll want to really kind of restore that reputation, that pride of being one of the most feared T20 sides out there. So Lancashire need every run that they can get.
Last night they failed to chase 161 to win at Trent Bridge last night in a dramatic tie.
Yeah, it's a bit of the old psychological barrier now is built again. Which,
it's a bit, isn't it? Going to get more than what they failed to get last night. Threlkeld on strike. Ballinger been an excellent final over. Pace off this time. It's a dot. It's a dot ball. They've actually scampered through for a single. It's a good stop inside the circle as Threlkeld just tried to pierce a gap in that offside, but good low stop. Doesn't deny Threlkeld her first run. Good work though by McCarthy. Brings Morris back on strike. So 163 for 4. 2 deliveries to go. Ballinger into Morris. Looking to slog sweep it, but they're playing a miss. Dot ball, crucial at this stage of the innings.
Oh yeah, well, nobody likes to see that when you're batting in the last couple of balls.
This has been a terrific final over from Grace Ballinger. Just 3 coming off it, 1 dot ball under wicket. Final ball of it. In and bowls to Morris. In the air, muscled out towards the leg side for a really big shot. 6 for Fee Morris. Excellent way to finish the innings.
Fantastic. What a shot. What a shot. I think that's what Sophie Eccleston was going for when she got caught out. So Fee Morris finishing the job there for her teammate.
Pretty emphatically, wasn't it? Goodness. Great shot. by Fee Morris. And it ends what was, prior to that, 5 very good deliveries sent down by Grace Ballinger at the end of the innings. But it's a powerful shot by Fee Morris. She finishes unbeaten on 27. And Lancashire Thunder finish on 169 for 4 from their 20 overs. So it's 170 to win for the Blaze. We're heading pitch side, and here's Fraser.
169 for 4, absolutely superb innings from the Lancashire Thunder, and one of the stars of that innings was Katie Mack, who's with me now. Katie, that was a terrific innings from you. It looked great from this, and what was it like for you?
Yeah, nice to just come out in the first game and get a couple runs, so hopefully we've got enough on the board, but yeah, it felt pretty good out there, so which should be a good game.
What did you make of the start itself? Because you guys went at it like an absolute train, didn't you?
Yeah, well, actually probably wasn't the plan. We sort of had talked about, you know, maintaining our wickets and getting off to a strong start, but making sure we had wickets in hand. And I think Tilly started really well, and it just gave us some good momentum. So we thought, why not start having a bit of a swing?
What's it like playing alongside young Tilly Kesteven? Because she's looking like a real rising star, isn't she?
Yeah, it's my first game with her, so I've just had to watch from afar, watch her smash it. So it was really nice to get out there with her. She's you know, quite experienced beyond, you know, her age. She's handled it really well, the pressure she's been under, and to have a match-winning final performance already at that age is pretty special.
Are you feeling the fact that there's a huge amount of confidence in this side at the moment, given that trophy win that we had on Monday?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's firing, everyone's playing really good cricket, and confidence is huge in this game, and there's lots of it in the group.
170 is the target for the Blaze. Is that a big enough score for you? Do you think you're confident you'll be able to defend that?
I think with our bowling attack, definitely, but it should be a good game.
We wish you the best of luck. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Katie. Excellent stuff. 170 is the total that the Blaze are going to have to go for. Don't forget, we've got the Emirates first ball flyer coming up very shortly. So whoever is bowling first for the Lancashire side, if they take a wicket with the very first ball, then somebody could be winning 2 tickets to Dubai, thanks to Emirates. Well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, today is the Pride round. We want to make sure that everybody coming through the gates here at Emirates Old Trafford feels safe and welcome. And earlier in the week, we spoke to Lachlan Smith from Out for Cricket and Andy Page from Mersey Roses. They told us why it's so important for all cricket fans to feel safe and welcome here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Obviously, we've mentioned that we're holding our Pride game this weekend for our double header. And at Emirates Old Trafford, we want anybody that comes through the door to feel welcome and included, and we're hoping that hosting the Pride game, it will encourage LGBTQ plus community to come to the game and feel like they're in a safe and comfortable environment. But so when we're thinking about what people can do to support the community, so some people will think that it means wearing rainbows or, you know, marching in pride with a feather boa. And I was saying to Tom, that is what I did a few years ago. But obviously that isn't for everybody. So, and I get that. But sometimes that's what people think. What does it mean? So when we say, if we want people to be allies, what would you say? What does that look like? What does that mean for somebody?
Yeah, I think for within cricket, and for environments like this, like congratulations on the Pride game. I think that's a really positive step, and it's an important part of a big inclusion jigsaw, I guess, in terms of making people feel welcome. So, you know, we've with some work we did with Surrey, actually, they spoke to some of the people that we were working with, and some of those people were saying to them, actually, just knowing it was a Pride game made them feel confident that they could walk through the gates at the Oval. And I'm sure that will be the same here. You know, people living in Manchester and Lancashire might think, okay, this is the day that I come to cricket for the first time. I bring my friends, whatever it might be. So that's really important. But back to your question. In terms of allyship particularly, like within this environment, you know, being aware of language, calling out inappropriate behaviour is really important. And I'm sure Lancashire have the structures in place for people to, you know, raise issues and things like that is really important. You know, don't assume people's sexuality, their gender identity, you know, things like that. Respect everyone else in the environment that they're in, you know, here at Old Trafford where they play cricket. You know, there's lots more you can do at sort of recreational level in terms of understanding the barriers and the welcome you give people as well. There's lots to do, but just be considerate, be willing to learn, be open-minded, and call out stuff that's wrong, you know, behaviour that's wrong, language that's wrong, because making the community, the LGBTQ community, do that all the time is really exhausting. And if you want to be a good ally, then standing up for other people, whether it's in the crowd, at your local cricket club and things like that, can be really important.
Yeah.
So there's a starter for 10 anyway.
You join us here in the home dugouts. Me and Paul Short. This probably brings back a few memories for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
cold
being back
sweats.
home again. Cold sweats. Yeah. I tell you what, though, the Blaze will probably be having a bit of a cold sweat at the moment, because that was a superb batting performance by the Thunder side, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think a great first half. The new opening partnership, I think, you know, they put a partnership on off 50. Mark really instrumental in that partnership, and the long Junkie Stevenson, I think, is playing beautifully as well. So power play 56 for 1, which is fantastic. And then Seren Smale came in and started to rotate strike, and of course a little flurry of runs towards the end there with Fee Morris and Sophie Eccleston. So I think 169 is a really good total on here. Lancashire Thunder ball really well, just vary the pace but hit the lines and lengths, field well. This should be their game, but they need to be on top of the metal. They've got a good bowling unit. But remember, these are a decent side, a good side, and they'll be looking to bounce back from a tie yesterday, try and win here at Emirates Old Trafford.
Yeah, Lancashire went off like a train, didn't they, in that power play? They really piled on the pressure. Katie Mack, what an innings from her. 59 off 37 balls and 11 fours. She was smashing it all over the place.
Yeah, she sets the tone. I think it's her attitude, her character, how she looks to play the game. Busy cricketer, she's always looking to get on the front foot and be positive. And if it's not quite there to put away for a boundary, then she's looking for 1 or 2. So I think a great cricketer, and actually I think she did a great job for the team today.
Opening partnerships, 50 and 56 for the first couple of wickets. I mean, that really sets the platform, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it sets the platform for that middle order to come in and be able to knock it about a little bit and look to hit gaps. As supposed to have pressure on them from a boundary perspective. So that's the foundation. So that set the stall out for you, Lancashire, to get to the total they have.
How impressed have you been by Tilly Kesteven as well? I mean, we're talking to Katie Mack there, and she was saying that she appears to have far more experience than her very young years. I mean, she's 20 years of age. She's only played a handful of first-class games, but she looks like she belongs on this stage.
Yeah, she's tall, she's strong, she hits down the ground really well, and I think she's made a great start. Often you can feel the pressure in an environment like this, but she doesn't look as though it's touching her at all. She's playing beautiful cricket, she's playing strong shots down the ground, and I think a really good prospect for the future. But I think we just need to handle her carefully. Young player, let's make sure that we don't get too carried away, but the signs are very positive.
It's all down to the bowling unit now, of course, to try and defend that total. I'm particularly excited to see Mahika Gore back in a Lancashire shirt as well after her exploits with England. A huge amount of pressure is going to be on her, obviously, but she's shown now that she's got that maturity to be able to handle that kind of pressure.
Absolutely, it's been great to see Mahika Gore develop the way she has over the last 3 or 4 years. Big tall bowler, slight angle, looks to swing the ball early on, and then she's got some really good variations. So I think she'll be looking to put all those things into play today and spearhead that Lancashire bowling attack.
Let's not forget, though, as you say, the Blaze, they've been there, they've done it, they've bought the T-shirt as far as this sort of competition is concerned. We know they've got some big stars. Obviously, they're missing a couple in Nat Sitterbrunt and Tammy Beaumont because they're on England duty, but they've still got quality, particularly in batting throughout the side.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll certainly miss those England players who are top performers. But with the Bryce sisters, you know, they're both really good players. They've got a number of batters throughout that batting order that can pose Lancashire Thunder a real threat. So Lancashire are going to have to bowl really well today and put pressure on them and ensure that their power play, Blazers' power play, isn't as good as Lancashire's power play. And then I think they've got a foot in the game then.
Just a word about the conditions. It is brightening up a little bit here. There is something of a suggestion that we might have a little bit of rain later on in the afternoon. Let's hope that doesn't appear within the next half hour or so. And certainly that we get this game pulled through. But it's muggy, it's cloudy. There's a little bit of breeze around. What sort of an effect do you think that's going to have on the Blaze as far as their conditions are concerned?
Yeah, so from a Blaze perspective, they're probably going to look to go hard in the power play, but that might just work into the hands and the conditions of the Lancashire Thunder bowlers. I said that Mahika Gore swings the ball. She'll look to swing the ball in this atmospheric condition at the moment, might just enable that to happen.
Okay, Paul, thanks very much for the minute. I'm going to have to go out and announce the fact that we have the umpires coming on their way back onto the field. Ladies and gents, please give one more big welcome to our people in the middle this afternoon, Neil Pratt and Amy Clark. And please give a warm welcome to the opening batters for the Blaze. And Emirates Old Trafford, once again, please give a massive welcome to your very own Lancashire Thunder! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, ladies and gents. This is the time for the Emirates first ball flyer. If the first Lancashire bowler takes a wicket on the very first ball, you could be going to Dubai. 2 tickets, thanks to our principal sponsors, Emirates, for Dubai up for grabs. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? Make some noise, Old Trafford, for the Emirates first ball flyer. Who's it going to be? We will see. The first bowler, we are lining up for this. Keep an eye on the screen. Let's see who gets the first ball in. And if they take a wicket, it looks like it is Mahika Gore who is going to have the first ball for Lancashire Thunder. If she takes a wicket with the first ball, keep your eyes on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. 2 tickets for Dubai are up for grabs. Are you ready for the Emirates first ball flyer?
For the Thunder from the Bright Stadium, number 18, Mahika Gore.
Here we go, ladies and gents. Emirates first ball flyer, Mahika Gore is ready. Are you ready?
Faith, wasn't it? Because the crowd were just informed that there was a holiday to Dubai at stake should a wicket go down from the very first ball of the innings. Well, it didn't. It's 0 for 0. It was a gentle push to mid-on. There's Gore in once again and bowls, and Marie Kelly eases it into the offside. So 169 for 4 set by the Thunder. Katie Macktop scoring with 59, a really good innings, and she was seen off by an excellent one-handed catch by Sarah Glenn at point. Otherwise, I think she'd have been there for a few more. Good, tidy start, this from Mahika Gore. Bring Faith in just a moment as we ease our way into the run chase. This ball is helped away onto the leg side. Both fielders are out there on that leg side, and there's a run. They're up and running. Where are you, Faith? 169, run chase 170, par, above par, slightly less than they should have got. Where are you?
I think Thunder will say that's a good score. I would say a little bit above par. Maybe not as high as it looked like it was going to be when they got off to that flyer in the power play, but still I think a very good score.
Georgia Elwes has taken guard, about to face her first delivery. There's a slip in. This one just slides down the leg side, and that one's immediately signalled as a wide. That's a little bit of a gift from Mahika there, handing that poorly directed delivery.
The opening batters for Lancashire, they were going at 9s in the power play at one stage, weren't they? So it was a really fast start, lots of momentum that they were able to carry on through to the middle overs. So Blaze will need to get a wriggle on like that to chase this down.
Gore in again to Georgia Elvis. It's a good delivery, pitched up, just a little bit of shape, just coming slightly back into the right-hander. And Georgia Elvis unable to really go through, unable to time it and just execute the drive out into the offside. So this is a decent over. Still a couple of balls left because of the wide. So far, just 2 on the board. There's Mahika Gore from the Brian Statham end down below us, and that's got through the defences. There was a very confident looking shout.
Yeah, maybe a little high. We'll have a look at the replay, but
I don't think there was an inside edge, which initially the first thought was might be what would have saved her, but the umpire clearly felt there was enough benefit of the doubt, and almost immediate not out. 2 without loss. Can she get out of the over here? Oh, that's slid down the leg side, and that'll be another wide. She can't get out of the over. It's going to be an 8-ball over at least. A little disappointingly.
I think that previous delivery just sort of looked to hit Georgia Elvis in the upper thigh, or certainly above the thigh pad, so might have just been, if anything, just trimming the top of the bails.
Yeah, bone hard surface, and Mahika Gore, tall bowler, just getting that extra little bit of bounce. And she comes again. Spoilt this over those 2 wides, but that's a good delivery to end the over. Just 1 from the bat, 2 wides, and Blaze in pursuit of a victory target of exactly 170, a 3 without loss after 1.
Yep, very good opening over from Mahika Gore. Despite the 2 wides, the score is only 3 after that first over, and so Thunder will want to keep that sort of bowling going, that kind of length and control, minus the wides, of course. They'll want to particularly restrict these 2 batters in the power play. Marie Kelly, a very powerful striker of the ball. We know she can score quickly. Of course, Georgia Elvis, a very experienced batter, got all the shots in her locker, has faced all kinds of bowling. And now it'll be Grace Potts from the James Anderson end. And that's cut away. That's over the head of the fielder at point, and that goes over for 4 runs.
Yeah, difficult from our angle to see how close that was to picking out point. Don't think it was as close as probably our angle made it look initially.
Yeah, perhaps she had a little leap to try and get the ball, but it might have been going away from her. So that's the first. That's runs, 4 runs off the bat of Kelly. First boundary from Marie Kelly. Grace Potts into Kelly. That passes the bat, retrieved by the keeper. That's a dot ball. Really good delivery.
There's one other game going on at the moment that also started at midday. The Bears women, who, of course, played in that tie last night against the Blaze at Trent Bridge. 193 for 6 they've posted against Durham at Edgbaston. Davina Perrin 87, Laura Harris 55, the top scorers. So 193 for 6. That sounds like a good score at Edgbaston.
Potts into Kelly. That's hit leg side. Going to get at least 1 run for it. Fielders quick across the turf, but they will come back for 2. Just about. Good throw in back from the deep.
Yeah, I think we felt, perhaps certainly in the first half of their innings, Thunder didn't do that enough. There was purposeful running there from the start. I would imagine straight away the shout was 2, and they both set off with that intent and got there.
Grace Potts over the wicket to Kelly, who uses her feet to come down and lofts that straight. Oh, she attempts the catch there straight behind the bowler, but just evades the fielder, and they get through for 2 runs. She thought she was in business for a catch there, but the ball always sort of slightly moving away from her. You know, when you have to run backwards on yourself, it's always a harder catch to try and take. But a shot of real intent there from Marie Kelly. 2 runs off it, but they're going to need more of that. Grace Potts into Kelly. This time she cuts that, goes past point, splits the fielders there, another 4 runs.
Really stylish looking shot from Marie Kelly. Was given enough width there just to hang back in the crease and just steer it away. There's plenty of pace on the ball. And, as long as you be at the inner ring, you're going to get full value for your shots there.
Absolutely, and a very stylish batter, as you say, Marie Kelly. Plenty of batting in that Blaze squad, more than capable of chasing down a big score and making good in this over. Other Blaze is Grace Potts into Kelly again, passes the bat. Potts with her hand over her mouth. That was a close one, I think she feels. It's a dot ball to finish the second over. 15 with no loss.
Yeah, 12 from that over at the corresponding stage. Lancashire had 18 on the board. As if you're watching the pictures, an early glimpse of the worm, so the Blaze just slightly behind. Cloudy day. I thought the sun was going to join us half an hour or so ago, but cloud has once again taken over. Suit the swing bowlers. Mahika Gore's going to bowl the 3rd over. First over was spoiled by a couple of leg side wides. It's going to be bowling to Georgia Elwis, yet to get off the mark. And now she does, just tucking this one away nicely off her hip. Bread and butter shot, really, onto the leg side. Expect all the players out there are perfectly capable of just tucking that one away, square of the wicket on the leg side. Comfortable run. 16 without loss. Target 170. Katie Max 59, the top score for Thunder. 4 points at stake now. They've had a little bit of a restructuring of the point system in the men's and the women's for this competition, and a nice looking shot this time by Marie Kelly. And just for a second just wondered if it might plug out there at deep extra cover, but the ball just had enough strength just to reach the ropes. So it looks as if it's foot down now for the Blaze. They've had a little look over the first couple of overs. Marie Kelly likes to go for her shots.
Absolutely, and she's a batter that can score very quickly, you know, before you know it. She's right up there with the rate, so yeah, Thunder, Mahika Gore, have to be watchful of that. It's a bit breezy today as well, isn't it? You can see all the flags flying.
Word or two being passed from Tara Norris at mid-off. Gore down the leg side, it's called a wide again. Just a slight lack of discipline, not quite got the radar right. What do you make of the umpire's coat? It's quite a vibrant, where are we going, magenta?
Yeah, magenta, fuchsia, possibly.
Or any other flowers we can think of.
You know, with the red of Lancashire and the orange of the Blaze. Very colourful scene out there.
There's Gore in once more. Down the track comes Marie Kelly, trying to heave this away over the leg side. Didn't get any bat on it. It'll be a leg bye. One more to the total. 22 without loss. The first real gauge we'll look at, of course, is the power play at the end of the power play. Thunder had 56 on the board. So I think the Blaze will want to be very much in contention. Word being passed from Sophie Eccleston, who'd come all the way across to have a word with Mahika Gore about where to bowl to Georgia Elwis. She's not seen much of a strike. She's on 1 and pushes this to mid-off, and she'll stay on 1. It's a nice delivery. And that's the end. It's not the end. I was just watching Sophie Eccleston whirling her arms around and thinking she was coming in to bowl, but she wasn't. She was just loosening up. I think she must have had the nod from the skipper. Look, she's continuing to loosen up, Sophie. Early introduction into the attack, no doubt.
Indeed, that familiar swing of the arms. She doesn't need much of a preparation, Sophie Eccleston.
22 on the board. Another one down the leg side, and it's good work with the gloves on by Ellie Threlkeld. Took it down the leg side, whipped off a bail, and appealed to the square leg umpire all in one. Nice bit of work. Sophie Eccleston with the bat, a quick fire 22, just to add a bit of much needed lustre towards the back end of the Thunder innings. 23 without loss. Still 2 balls left in this over. There's Gore balls now, and that's just too short, but unable to penetrate the gap on the leg side there. Elwes will just get a single, hitting it out to Seren Smale on the square leg fence.
What we saw the Lancashire batters doing very well in that power play is picking the gap, splitting the fielders, and really managing to penetrate that inner ring. So the Blaze will want to try and hit less directly to the fielders.
Gore runs away from us. Final ball of the over, and this is clipped crisply up to Grace Potts at mid-on. End of the over, 24 without loss. At the same stage, Thunder had 29 on the board. Asking rate about 8.5 and over from here on in.
So the batters meet in the middle for a little conference. I wonder what they'll be saying to each other now. Just talking about what they're seeing from the pitch, what they make of the bowling so far, how the ball's responding to pitch and the weather and the plans from Lancashire.
And they will have been noticing, as we did during the course of that over, Sophie Eccleston getting herself ready to bowl, and no doubt plans to be put in place against her because she's coming on now.
Indeed, you know, anybody getting ready to face Sophie Eccleston, I think you know as a cricketer that you are about to face one of the best bowlers in the world, if not the best bowler in the world. You've got to have your wits about you and be prepared to face this left arm spin. She's in to... Oh, that's over the head of the fielder there at mid-wicket. Long on. It's gone for 4 runs.
Nearly the dream start, but
nearly.
Right.
I thought she was in there with a chance of a catch there. Sophie Eccleston won't mind that boundary.
I think it's Ailsa Lister at mid-on the discs, just cleared it.
So Georgia Elwes to face again. She uses her feet and she hits it exactly the same. It's a carbon copy of the previous shot over the boundary there. Couple of bounces, another 4 runs to the total.
I think that one's gone all the way, Faith.
Has that gone all the way for 6?
Yeah, I think it's gone for 6. So that was a really nice blow.
Oh, fantastic shot. Yeah, my eyes must have deceived me there. I couldn't quite see the fuchsia of the umpire signalling the 6. I thought you just were cheering the shot when you had your arms up, but it was a 6. In again, and this time that's just dabbed delicately behind square.
It got me down as a cheerleader already.
Well, you know, a good shot is can always be appreciated in any manner that you choose.
Yeah, a good shot is a good shot. Yeah.
Indeed. So a dot ball that last delivery. Sophie Eccleston into Elwes, this time who cuts that through the covers. For another 4 runs, the fielder will give chase, but they'll never reach it. The ball wins that one. So a 6 and a 4 off the bowling of Sophie Eccleston. She definitely won't be very happy about that. And the Blaze and Georgia Elwes will be delighted.
Yeah, it's interesting that they have decided to try and go after it whilst there's only 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. Obviously, a little later on, it'll be a different kettle of fish when there's more gaps in the boundary being plugged by those extra fielders out there. But they're looking to take her on.
Eccleston fires that one in and retrieved by the keeper. Elwes just leaves that well alone.
Soon caught up, hasn't she, Georgia Elwes? It was 17 to Marie Kelly and just 1 to Georgia Elwes, but she's scored the last 15 runs.
In, and that's just defended. A good delivery there. Sophie Eccleston to salvage something from that over where she got taken for a 6 over her head and a 4 through the covers. And that brings the total up to 38. With no loss after 4 overs for the Blaze.
Yeah, they're just forging ahead for the first time at the same stage. The Thunder at 36. Expect this to be nip and tuck, but the biggest surprise in the world if we're not coming towards the 18th, 19th and 20th over here. Still not entirely sure who's going to win this one. Did say that a time or two last night. Ended up in a tie. No super over, of course, in the competition. The group stage, 4 points for a win, 2 for a tie. 1 if it's rained off or not played for any reason, and none if you lose. So last night the Blaze picking up a couple of points for that tie. Bowling change. It's Tara Norris, left arm, medium fast. First ball is pitched right up there, and it brings a very confident appeal from Tara Norris, clearing the throat.
Looked to be going down for me.
Decent little bit of shape. She's having a chat, canvassing the opinion of Make Gore and Grace Potts as to what they thought of it. I thought it was not out. This one's just slightly on the leg side, but backing away there was Marie Kelly, and get a single onto the leg side.
You know, I don't mind a tie at the group stages. What do you think? I know some people are a bit upset about that, would rather have, you know, some conclusive result.
It's a little bit like a playoff in golf, isn't it? You've got so wrapped up in it, and it's dramatic, 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 and then we've got to wait half an hour while they sign the cards and go to the practice and tees and all this. Oh, this one's very loose down the leg side from Tara Norris. I know it doesn't take quite as long in cricket, but it is just dragging it out for another half an hour, 40 minutes sometimes, with each side getting to bowl and over. Can be a bit of an anticlimax. I think I'm with you. 2 points apiece and move on. We'll have the extra added drama for finals day if needed.
Indeed.
That's a poor one down the leg side. It's 2 in a row from Tara Norris that have slipped down that leg side, but this one just out of reach of Ellie Threlkeld, so that will be 5 to the total, 5 wides.
And that's well wide down the leg side, and that's something that Thunder will definitely want to avoid at this stage of the game. Really need to keep that bowling disciplined.
So up to 45.
Blaze haven't lost any wickets, and that's just a gift.
There's Tara Norris, got to find a line, and she does. That's much better. Oh, but it's a slight misfield by Sophie Eccleston there. She did well to get across and dive and prevent it squeezing in that gap through the offside ring, but ball just squirmed out of her grasp like a slippery eel or a bar of soap, and they scampered through for a single. 46 without loss. Norris in again, and this one's heaved away. That's a big blow, and that's a 6 as well. That's lovely clean ball striking from Marie Kelly. Clears the rope at deep mid-wicket. This has been a very good couple of overs.
Oh, that was a beautiful
the Blaze,
shot.
yeah. Just turned into quite an expensive over from Tara Norris, and she's not out of it yet.
Indeed, and the skipper's come from behind her wickets to just have a word with Tara Norris, see what her plans are.
I think she's bowled 6 balls now. 14 have gone from the over. And okay, just going to take your fielding position, but with the 2 wides, she's got to bowl 2 more. So here's Norris in again. And, that's nicely played behind square on the leg side by Marie Kelly. Gets a single, moves to 25. Georgia Elvis has 17. And the Blaze on the charge. They're 53 without loss in pursuit of a victory target of 170. 2 Bryces doing next. Catherine made an unbeaten 58 last night. So I say she's in good form, but when is she not in good form? And Sarah Bryce doing at 4. There's Norris in once more, and again turn to leg for a single. So 16 from the over, 54 without loss from 5 overs. Another quick word from Faith, and then we'll be joined by Paul Shaw and Scott Reed.
Started watchfully, did the Blaze, but soon picked that up and started to really get a measure of the wicket. Got some gifts from Lancashire as well, with a little bit of indisciplined bowling, and they're threatening to surpass the total in the power play that Lancashire set. So the Blaze, I think, at the moment, will be the happier side.
Thanks, Faith. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good start, isn't it? Powerful start. 54 on the board for the opening wicket so far. 5 overs in. Oh, it's someone's birthday. Happy birthday in the crowd. Manchester City supporter by the looks of things. 54 without loss. 5 overs gone. And similar issues that the Blaze were having at the start of the Thunder innings is, where do they find a breakthrough from Lancashire. And Thunder down the pitch comes Elwes, plays a lovely shot, crashed away through the covers, out towards wide long off, 4 runs. 58 without loss. Paul Shaw's alongside me, and a few problems for Thunder here.
They certainly are. I think we've got a game on his hands here, Scott. A great shot. Elwes comes down the pitch, gets on top of the ball, and times the ball away past extra cover for 4 runs. Scores 58 for none. Already gone past the Thunder power play score of 56 for 1 unnoticed. So they're well placed, our Blaze.
Potts in, balls again. That's whipped away to the leg side. It's just a fraction behind square. It will be scooped up on the boundary by Katie Mack. Hurtles a throw in, just a single. 59 without loss in the 6th.
Thunder will be slightly disappointed with probably their consistency with the ball, and in the field they've not been right on top of the game. But this phase of play now, as we're coming towards the end of power play, is really important. They need to pull it back.
Potts strides in, down the pitch comes Kelly. That's worked out towards the leg side, out towards mid-on for a single. Kelly moves to 26, 60 without loss. Halfway through the 6th over, the final power play over. Bowlers used. Mahika Gore 2 overs for 11. Grace Potts into her 2nd over. 1 over for Sophie Eccleston, 1 for Tara Norris as well. Skipper Threlkeld pondering her next move. 60 without loss. Here's Potts to Elwes. Down the pitch, swing and a miss. And I think that's caught Sophie Eccleston. It has. She's discarded one of her wicket-keeping gloves. And that's going to sting a little bit for Ellie Threlkeld.
It certainly is. It just looked to it, maybe the ring finger or the little finger on the left hand. And yeah, she's a tough competitor and a tough cookie, Threlkeld, and that certainly hurt her and shook her slightly.
There's Potts in and balls again. Muscled away towards the leg side by Elwes for a single. Moves to 24, 61 without loss. It was one of the... I loved the celebrations on Monday, but one of my favourite pictures was of Ellie holding the trophy. It was so nice. I mean, because, you know, I think she represents the team so well. I think she represents the club so well. And to see her lifting the trophy and to see a picture of holding the trophy was great. That's off the back foot by Kelly, works again towards the leg side. They might hustle a couple here. They've done well. Katie Mack's got quite a lot of ground to make up to a left-hand side. She's sweeping on that mid-wicket boundary. And they managed to come back and run 2. It's the end of the over. That's the power play gone then, Paul. 63 without loss, 107 required, 84 balls left, and 10 wickets in hand.
The scene is set for a great finish to this game, isn't it? Just comparing power play scores. Lancashire Thunder were 56 for 1 at the end of their 6, and Blaze going great guns are 63 for none at the moment. So they just need to continue that the progress that they're making, and Thunder need to pull this game back and see if they can just wrestle back that momentum with some accurate bowling. Notice it looks like there's going to be a change of bowling. At the moment, it looks like Sophie Morris, the left-arm spinner, young left-arm spinner, a graduate of the Lancashire Thunder Academy, who's progressed nicely this year, and she's got the opportunity to break up this partnership.
Elwes on 24. Ellie Threlkeld, the skipper, behind the stumps, just marshalling the fielders around a little bit. Look at a long on, deep point, reverse sweep by Elwes, picked up inside the circle. So dot ball to start the 7th over, 63 on the board. Yeah, 3 leg side fielders at deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, long on. And then Katie Mack and on the cover boundary. There's Morris from around the wicket. It's chopped away into the offside by Elwes for a single. Moves on to 25. Score moves on to 64 without loss. This is the first game of the Vitality Blast for Lancashire Thunder. The Blaze had a tie. Last I love a tie. Bit of drama. Morris in bowls. The back foot chopped away by Kelly. And through for a single, 65 without loss. You had a few ties here, didn't you, when you were head coach?
Yeah, we certainly had a couple here. We had one across at Southport as well. I think we had 3 or 4 ties in the 3 years I was here. So, gee.
I love retiring.
Ah, dear. Yeah.
Brilliant fun. I mean, it's chaos, isn't it, really?
It's great for the neutral and the broadcaster, but you sat there as coach.
Not for you. Right, fair enough. Here's Morris into to Elvis. It's pushed away into the offside for a single, 66 without loss.
They are great games, though, aren't they? Great games to be involved in, and the ones we were involved in, I think Central, Sparks, Vipers, and there was, forgive me, there was one other which I can't remember, but incredibly tight all the way through the game.
Morris is in to Kelly, looking to try and sweep it, stepping across the stumps. It clatters into a pad, deflects away into the offside, and there's a bit of bottom edge on that, actually. It's been giving us a run.
Interesting phase of play, because obviously players have gone really well inside power play, but now it's important the outer power play boundaries where they can, but then push the sweepers either side of those for 2 runs and push hard.
Morris balls down, the pitch comes Elvis. That's worked through mid-on for a single. And that's the end of the 7th over. 68 without loss, and 5 coming off that over, all in singles, but just nudging the ball around and keeping things ticking over.
Absolutely, and that's what they'll look to do. And you know, if they can, they'll get out of power play boundaries, should I say, and push for those 2s. But coming back to your point about Ellie lifting the first bit of professional silverware as such, Ellie's a wonderful example, Ellie Threlkeld, a wonderful example of a leader that's just a really good person, leads from the front, works on her behaviours, works on a game, does everything you would want a captain to do. I think she's a wonderful individual, and as she's developing tactically, she would be the first to admit there were areas that she needed to improve on there, and she is gradually progressing from a tactical perspective. But I couldn't be any happier for Ellie Threlkeld. I was delighted to watch that on Lancs TV, interestingly enough.
Start of the 8th over, 68 without loss. And it's Fee Morris from the James Anderson end, and Elvis on strike. That's worked to the leg side. Again, they've gone darting through for 1. They're thinking about 2. Mack comes up quickly from the boundary to field, denies the possibility of a second.
You can see in the mindset just by the way they play that shot that that's what they're going to look for. So each of the sweepers, the scouts on the boundary, are going to be absolutely on their toes as much as possible to minimise any 2s.
Fee Morris in balls, driven through mid-off by Kelly for 1. Moves on to 31, 70 without loss now.
I'll tell you what is really good to see. I've just been talking to Mick Newell, the director of cricket at Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
Bumped into him downstairs, and he was talking about how the standard is growing and developing pretty quickly in the women's game.
Morris in to Elvis, worked to mid-wicket for 1, 71 without loss.
So he was saying over the last 5 years, and obviously I've been involved that period of time myself, seeing that each year, you know, incremental changes and growth and development, but the last 12 months seems to really move forward quite a lot. So wonder where it's going to be in the next 5 years, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Morris balls to Kelly, just flicks it away off the hip down towards short fine. Slightly awkward throw for Threlkeld to take as it comes in from short fine leg, but they've got through for 1. 72 without loss. Well, that is a really interesting discussion point, isn't it, as to how far he's going to go in the next 12 months, 18 months, 2 years. Pulled out towards mid-wicket by Elvis for a single.
Yeah, because it was only, in fact, Bumble, who was on a little bit later, might well remember this, but it was only 2014 where the England team went professional. 2014. You know, and how much that's moved forward.
Fee Morris in to Kelly. Punched away out towards wide long off. And then come back for 2. That's good running. And the partnership continues to build nicely here. They've scored off every delivery there. End of the 8th over. They need 95 more to win. 72 balls left and 10 wickets in hand. And the Blaze, with Kelly and Elvis, so far have this run chase under control.
They certainly have, and it's important that they keep pushing forward now, isn't it, and getting to a good position going into the last 5 overs to give Blaze the best chance of winning this game. But if Lancashire just pick up a wicket, it just might bring 2, might bring a 3rd wicket, and all of a sudden pressure then transfers onto the Blaze batting lineup. But at this point in time, 75 fun on with, 3 8 overs is good going, isn't it?
Good crowd in inside the ground here as well for this this double header. Reverse sweep by Elwes gets enough on that for it to trickle down towards the boundary rope. Whether it reaches it, I'm not sure. It doesn't. Reverse sweep brings Elwes 2. She moves to 32, not out, 77 without loss.
Yeah, good crowd just beginning to build up, which is great, isn't it? You know, Saturday afternoon. There is actually a little bit of sun, which is surprising, isn't it, Manchester?
You couldn't wait, could you?
Twice in a day.
Yeah. Within 20 seconds, as Elwes drives away through the covers for 4. Beautiful shot, punched away. And the run chase continues to go from strength to strength, 81 without loss.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Elwes decides to come down the pitch, gets into a decent position and just frees her hands through the ball, generates power past extra cover for 4 runs and moved the score on to 81 for none. But yeah, you know, there's a light breeze blowing across the ground. What a magnificent stadium this is now. I always say it's a great place to come and watch a game of cricket.
This Morris bowls chopped away by Elwes. 1 bounce back to Sophie Morris, and there's no run. Yeah, healthy crowd in. Plenty on the hotel balconies as well, watching from the hotel rooms. Morris bowls a little bit flatter this time. That's worked her way down the ground by Elwes for 1. Takes her on to 37. The score moves on to 82 without loss.
And what's that, 88 to win off 68 deliveries. We've got a game on, Scott.
We have. Here's Morris. Left arm spin from around the wicket.
Ooh.
Sweep attempted by Kelly. Ball just snakes underneath the bat and through to Threlkeld. There's no run. Dot ball. Final delivery of the 9th over coming up. Morris with a reasonably strong breeze pushing in towards the left-hand side. Bowls again. Kelly meets it and drives to mid-off. Shy at the stumps. Well, missed. A direct hit may well have been close. In the end, they've got through for that single to take the score on to 83 without loss. 9 overs gone, requiring a further 87 to win. A direct hit.
Yeah, I think, it was close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Touch and go if that had hit. But yeah, the Blaze are in a good position here, and important that Lancashire Thunder just, you know, they sit in this game, yes, but they look to just vary their pace, just to create a little bit of doubt and make it a little bit more difficult to score. On this same pitch, we saw the Lancashire men, the Lightning team, find it difficult to score in the middle period of the game when they were just back of a length.
It's Fee Morris continuing. That's swept by Kelly in front of square on the leg side for a single.
I had a good look at the pitch today. I always have a good chat with the ground staff and get their view on the pitch. As we know, we're playing it on Thursday, and there's a few cracks in the pitch, but the edge of the cracks are not moving at all, so it's still pretty firm and holding together nicely. So it's pretty firm pitch, so I think it'll play well throughout the day.
Morris to Elwes. Again, pulled out towards the leg side for 1. He's on to 38, 85 without loss. It sounds like a pretty typical Old Trafford pitch.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly what the ground staff was saying. It's pretty similar to what it would normally be.
Thunder looking for a breakthrough. Kelly coming down the pitch to meet Fee Morris and then swatting it away to the leg side. Katie Mack in the deep to field.
See, just that delivery there. Fee just manages to hold that ball open and the batter doesn't quite get there. You know, it's often across the line, and as I would say, one up a chimney.
In comes Morris. Bowls. Again, pulled out towards the leg side,
Shot.
but for 4 runs, she picked out the gap beautifully. 2 fielders on that leg side boundary, long on, deep mid-wicket. Managed to find the way in between the pair of them.
Yeah, great shot. She picks length really well, rocks back as we can see into it crease, and then pulls that ball into the vacant area right between the 2 scouts on the boundary. It was a great shot, really good timing, good contact. Takes the score to 90 for none.
As Fee Morris is in and balls, taken off the pads this time by Elwes, just clipped down towards fine leg. Throw comes in from Grace Potts. And the score moves on to 91 without loss. 1 ball left for the 10th over, so almost at the halfway point of the run chase. And the Blaze have made an outstanding start here, chasing this target of 170 to win. Where do Thunder find a breakthrough? Fee Morris bowls to Kelly. That's worked to the leg side again. She wants 2. She's been sent back here by Elwes. Probably was a smart decision. End of the over. halfway point, Paul. 10 overs gone, 92 on the board. Thunder needing to find a bit of magic from somewhere, aren't they, to try and drag this back at the minute, as Lanky puts his feet up and chills out on the sofas. The Blaze have it all under control. 92 with that loss after 10. I'll leave you, Paul, and Faith will come and join you.
Yeah, Blaze are in a great position, and the partnership between the two that's in the middle at the moment, partnership of 92 off the 10 overs, and Kelly and Elwis are both batting beautifully, really, and Lancashire need a wicket, Thunder need a wicket, and they go to their kingpin bowler, if you like. Sophie Eccleston is coming on. She's bowled 1 over, none for 14 at the moment, and we're joined in the commentary box by Faye. Good to see you, Faye.
Eccleston into Marie Kelly, just hits that leg side. 1 run. Hi, Paul Shaw. Nice to see you again. The Blaze going really, really well here. Fantastic start. Eccleston into Elwis, who shuffles down the wicket, hits it straight back to the bowler. I did wonder, you know, after yesterday, when the Blaze had a tie in a game that they were firmly in control of, thought they'd come here today with a full head of steam. Eccleston into Elwis, again shuffles down, but can't quite connect. Good bowling from Eccleston, who won't be very happy about remaining wicketless for the whole team at this stage of the match after 10 overs. The brilliant start that the Blaze have made. Eccleston into, again she uses her feet, this time just slashes that one straight to the fielder in the ring. Another dot ball. I think another person building up a head of steam, Sophie Eccleston, who'll want to definitely be the one to make a breakthrough here. She'll be the one that her team is looking to. Steps across her wicket and sweeps that very well past backward square leg for 4 runs. So that little game of cat and mouse there between batter and bowler, two very experienced and very classy cricketers. And Georgia Elwis comes out on top with a boundary there.
And that's exactly what it was, wasn't it? It was cat and mouse between the two experienced performers, and as you say, Elwis came out on top. Slightly over pitch delivery. Elwis moves across the stumps, gets into a good position and paddles that ball behind square for 4 runs.
One ball left for Eccleston. And this one is called a wide. Just sneaks there on the leg side into the gloves of the wicketkeeper. She'll have to bowl that one again. What can she do with this last bowl of this over, Sophie Eccleston? Roger Elwis to face. Fires that one in, and that's hit through the covers. There is a sweeper out there, so it won't go for 4 runs, but it's a good over, I feel, especially facing Sophie Eccleston in the middle overs, where she can be really dangerous. The Blaze continue with their momentum. 99 they're on, 1 away from 100 after 11 overs. Certainly ahead of where Lancashire were in their first innings. And as I was saying, Paul, like after they didn't quite get over the line yesterday, the Blaze, and of course Thunder were their nemesis in that T20 Cup as well, that Thunder went on to lift the trophy. The Blaze aren't going to want to continue that sort of streak of not quite getting over, hey?
Absolutely, and if you hear the Blaze, you feel like you owe Lancashire one, don't you? You know, they've beat you 3 times this year. They beat you on, you know, county finals day, and you know the tie yesterday. I think they've come here with a bit in the teeth to show Lancashire just what they can do. But great teams, and Lancashire's developing into a good side. The Thunder team is becoming a good side. It's really important that you win games of cricket like this, where the game's slipping away from you, but actually finding a way to pause the game, get back in the game with a couple of wickets, a brilliant catch or a brilliant run out is actually really important.
And there's plenty of time for it as Tara Norris, left arm over, and that's hit into the leg side. Fielder will cut that off for 1 run.
I was just saying earlier on to Scott just how much the women's game has developed, certainly over the last 5 years, but even the last 12 months, it seems the work that's going in has built, you know, a good foundation across the country. Last year, I can see the standards gone like that. It's really risen.
100%, I agree. Tara Norris over to Marie Kelly, who hits that aerially. There is a sweeper there. They'll come back for 2 runs, but they're keeping that scoreboard moving, the Blaze.
I mean, I know the pitches around the country have helped because they're good pitches now, and we've had a lot of good weather, so not much rain, so of course that helps. but the scores in, you know, number of scores that's been above 300 in 50 over cricket throughout the summer has been magnificent, I think.
Absolutely. It's been so good to watch, just reigning centuries, you know, during that 50 over competition. Never seen anything like it. Tara Norris into Marie Kelly, who gives herself some room and hits that aerially. Fielder underneath it. Sophie Eccleston takes the catch. And that's the breakthrough that Thunder were longing for. Georgia Elwes takes her helmet off. A brilliant catch, after 101, the score. After 11 and a half overs, Marie Kelly has to trudge back to the dugout. Very well watched and well taken catch. It's not necessarily easy when it's going up high and sort of over your head like that. Sophie Eccleston, though, a safe pair of hands there at short extra cover.
Yes, and that's the breakthrough that Thunder required. The big wicket of Kelly, who got 40 off 30 deliveries, and that brings one of the Bryce sisters.
Yes,
I think it's Catherine Bryce,
so
isn't it?
One dangerous batter leaves, another very,
enters.
very good batter replaces her. So yes, it's a big breakthrough for Thunder, but not job done. But that's what they needed, like you were saying. You know, it just takes a catch here, a wicket there, halt that momentum, and reset your plans.
And 2 or 3 really good deliveries here is really important. So there's no free ball to let Catherine Bryce get going and grasp a little bit more momentum. It's been really tight on your lines and your lines, making it really difficult for her.
Norris into Bryce, just nudges that leg side. Fielder runs after the ball. It'll be 1 run.
See, I just wonder like that. It's a good delivery, but obviously we've got deep mid-wicket out there, or Lancashire Thunder have. I just wonder whether it's worth a new batter. You have someone really tight just to stop the one. I know they don't want to give boundaries away, but for a new batter, a couple of balls, couple of dot balls, don't let them get away off strike.
Indeed, as Tara Norris into Elwes, who hits that straight down the ground. There's another single. Yeah, and that speaks to your point about maybe stopping those ones. 50 runs up for Georgia Elwes with that last shot. 50 off 39, so she's really motoring along.
Yeah, it's been a good innings by the experienced Elwes. Her job now is to bat through to try and win this game for the Blaze.
Norris into Bryce, nudges it leg side into that very position you were talking about. So they're very comfortable single added to the total, and after you've just taken a wicket, yeah, you do, as you say, that's a time that you want to restrict and just contain the batters. You know, if the momentum swung a little bit more in your favour, or at least you've made that breakthrough, last thing you want to do is let them comfortably rotate the strike and get the new batter off strike, you know, so Elwes can go about her business quite happily.
Yeah, I think it's important just to build pressure on the new batters that come in and give them no freebies, but to enable them just to get off strike like that, just to clip a good ball through mid-wicket. I'm not sure tactically that's the right decision. I appreciate they're trying to save the boundary and protect that boundary, but I think building a little bit of pressure on the new batters is important, which brings actually a change in the bowling.
Indeed, so Mahika Gore just doing some stretches here at the Brian Statham end at the media end. It'll be Catherine Bryce to face. She's on 2 off 2 balls, Catherine Bryce, so she's had a little look. Mahika Gore in, left arm over the wicket, and that's cut. That's stopped at point. Though they do manage to get through for 1 run. Very nippy. Georgia Elwes will always take the run there if it's on offer.
Yeah, Yard either side of Elsa Lister there, and that was 4 runs, wasn't it? Good bit of fielding in the end.
Indeed. Indeed. That's what they've got to do, really restrict those boundaries at this stage. They've got up to an absolute flyer, the Blaze. Mahika Gore. And that's hit through the covers, but there's a fielder there, there's a bit of a fumble. So they'll come through for 2 runs. It wasn't quite hit firmly enough to get to the boundary, but probably could have saved a single there if the fielding was clean. I think that's Grace Potts there, long off. Mahika Gore prepares. She's going to come round the wicket this time. And that's just nudged into the leg side by Georgia Elwis. Another single, keeping that strike rotating. She's changed her angle there, Mahika Gore, to bowl to Georgia Elwis. Looks to be staying, bowling around the wicket.
All the fielders on the leg side boundary.
In, and that's just nudged to the offside, 1 run.
So Blaze requires 61 of just 44 deliveries here at Emirates Old Trafford, and Thunder just picking up an important wicket off Kelly, but now need to get another breakthrough if they can, and just to put the blocks on the Blaze innings.
Gore into Elwis, steps across her wicket and hits that behind. That goes fine, but straight to the field as Georgia Elwis lifts her bat over her head in a little bit of frustration, trying to clear those boundaries. 109 for 1. 1 ball remaining in Mahika Gore's over. It'll be Elwis to face. Left arm of Gore, bowling round the wicket. Uses her feet to shuffle down, hits that aerially, and it's taken, it's a catch. She's out, hit that straight to deep mid-wicket. A very comfortable catch, but you still have to take them.
Yeah, that's the breakthrough. We've got the Lancashire Thunder have got the experienced Elwis caught at long on, and that's another big wicket. Really good innings really by Elwis, showed her experience, kept the run rate going, hit boundaries, and she's dismissed for 53 and played beautifully here today, and certainly given the platform, but the Blaze still requires 61, and it brings together the Bryce sisters. We've got Catherine already at the crease, and Sarah Bryce comes out to the wicket.
Yeah, very good knock from Georgia Elwis. I'm sure she will have wanted to take the game deeper herself, and certainly would have wanted to be there at the end, but to be fair to her, she's been part of a really strong partnership at the start there with Marie Kelly and set a really good platform for the Blaze. And conversely, Thunder, though, starting to make a few breakthroughs. You know, once you've cracked that first, tenacious opening partnership, then, you know, in cricket you always feel that things start to happen, and they have been doing so now for the Thunder slowly. So 61 still required of 42 balls, 7 overs to go. It's going to be Tara Norris bowling from the far end, the James Anderson end. Catherine Bryce on strike. Oh, and she cuts that fine. That goes past third man. And Mahika Gore will just jog over to retrieve the ball. There was no stopping that one. A really good shot. Another 4 runs to the total.
Yeah, just slightly outside off stump here, wasn't it? Just a little bit of width, which enables Bryce just to rock back and then just slightly open the face on the ball and time that one quite finely behind square for 4 runs, which means that the Blaze require 57 from 41 deliveries.
Norris into Catherine Bryce.
Shot.
That's cut through the covers. A really good shot. There's a sweeper on the boundary. There's a tumbling save. Has lost the ball as they jog through for 2 runs. So she does cut off the boundary there, but comfortable 2 runs for Catherine Bryce. I think it must be fun to bat with your sister, hey? Bat with a sibling. What a talented family. Tara Norris into Catherine Bryce again. Hits that leg side. They run through for the first very quickly, but they won't chance the arm for another run, so that's another single to the total. Tara Norris, she has taken a wicket today, but she's also had some mixed bowling. Hasn't always been able to quite find her length today, certainly early on in the innings. And we'll want to get out of this over. She's got 3 deliveries left without conceding any more boundaries. Sarah Bryce on strike now. She cuts that straight to point. The sweeper at point will cut that off for 1 run. Nicely off the mark for Sarah Bryce.
And Seren Smale, I think it is, out on the boundary. He's getting some coaching tips from the one and only Lanky by the looks of things.
Not sure what kind of tips I want to get from Lanky. As Tara Norris into Catherine Bryce, who just cuts that fine again, but that's stopped by the fielder. Backward point. Quite good at running, Lanky. Maybe Seren Smale has to do a lot of running out on the boundary there.
Certainly offering some advice, isn't he? Oh, he's doing his stretches. Look, he's just stretching. He's getting ready to give Seren Smale a hand, I think, in the outfield.
How do you field with Lanky on your shoulders? Norris is in. Catherine Bryce cuts that straight to Seren Smale as if to demonstrate. 1 run.
Here we go. Look, he's showing us now. He's shadowing some fielding routines for us, and I'm so sure that Seren will be very grateful for Lanky's advice in the outfield.
No doubt. At the end of 14 overs, that's 118 for 2.
Well, this game's evenly balanced now. Blaze making a really good start, getting well into this batting innings, and 2 relatively quick wickets to break that really important partnership with the wickets of Kelly and Elwis. Going means that the Lancashire Thunder team are back in the game, and they're going back to their best bowler, Sophie Eccleston, and say, come on Sophie, see if you can get us a wicket, get us another wicket to get us back well into this game. I think it's going to be a nail-biter.
Into Catherine Bryce, who just nudges that short extra cover. Dot ball. Very quick between her deliveries. Eccleston in once again, this time nudge leg side. Fielder in the deep has to run in to meet that. Didn't have a lot of power on that ball, so just trickled along there in the leg side, and they're through for 1 run. Sophie Eccleston wicketless so far. Into her 3rd over. She's into that's. Oh, did she get some bat on that? That seemed to go leg side-ish.
Flicker pad or something then?
Yeah, I thought I'd see the umpire signalling wide, but yeah, must have made some sort of contact there with the batter. Sarah Bryce facing Eccleston. Nudges that again leg side for 1 run. So they are exploiting that that space there mid-wicket to keep rotating the strike. Probably trying to show some respect to the bowler here, not taking any risky shots. See if they can see off this 3rd over from Eccleston. She's into Catherine Bryce. That's just skewed from the offside.
Quicker delivery there from Eccleston. Pitched that one right up there, almost Yorker delivery. Try and just sneak one through between bat and pad, or potentially hit the path and get an LB.
Eccleston into Bryce, who strikes that firmly on the leg side. 1 run. So it's always a quick over from Sophie Eccleston. 121 for 2 is the score. 49 required off 30 balls. So Lancashire, a couple of breakthroughs. The Blaze have the batting depth and they bat quite deep and still have some very dangerous batters. Certainly there at the crease, Catherine Bryce and Sarah Bryce. We've seen them win games for the Blaze before, and they'll feel that they've got the firepower and the timing and everything to take this all the way.
Felt like that was a big shift in momentum, that particular over, Faith, pulled by Sophie Eccleston. The Blaze have slipped behind at the corresponding stage. The Thunder were 5 runs better off. Just wondering how crucial that might be.
Indeed. Welcome back, Dave.
Thank you very much. Morris bowling, and turned away on the leg side by Catherine Bryce, I beg your pardon, and She moves on to 15, 122 for 2. The pizzas are in.
Ooh.
Do you like a pizza? The pizzas are in.
I love a pizza.
But they're down to our right. A group of young men celebrating very early on, as this is drilled down the ground for a single. I'm sure the cameras, if they haven't spotted them already, will find them. Down to our right, Lanky the giraffe's down there with them, right in the middle of the pizza crowd. There's one with a pineapple on his head.
I don't like pineapple on a pizza.
Well, you'd be drummed out of Italy, wouldn't you? As this one's hit crisply to mid-off by Catherine Bryce, and there's no run. Every dot now being cheered to the rafters. Just got their noses in front here. The Thunder, and although there's plenty of wickets left in the locker for the Blaze, they've... well, this is a lovely shot from Catherine Bryce. I was going to say they've got to start to unload and find the boundary, and that's just what Catherine Bryce has done there. Nice shot, just drilling it to the left of Sophie Eccleston at mid-off, to the right of extra cover, and away for 4. 127 for 2. At the end of this over, the Thunder were on 136, so very much looks as if they're going to stay ahead. This is a couple of big shots here from Catherine Bryce, but this has all the makings of another nip and tuck game like last night at Trent Bridge, which finished in a tie. Here comes Bryce again, and she's got hold of this one, and that's gone all the way for 6. That's a lovely stroke. Cleared the ring, lifted it over Eccleston and away, and Sophie Eccleston, I think, is going to be pushed out onto the fence, just in case she tries to do that again, Catherine Bryce. That was a lovely stroke, wasn't it?
That was fantastic batting from Catherine Bryce. I think she thought the last one maybe was a little bit too close to Sophie Eccleston, and this time she was going to clear her by 2 metres either side.
So Sophie Morris trying to get out of this over with as little damage as possible. That's cut to backward point, and there's no run. So the end of the over comes 133 for 2. So 3 runs behind where the Thunder were at the corresponding stage. If you're just joining us, a very good afternoon. Welcome to Emirates Old Trafford, where earlier in the day, put into bat, Lancashire Thunder made 169 for 4, 59 from Katie Mack. Halfway stage, we thought 170 was going to give us a really good game here, and that's what it's proving to be. 133 for 2, 4 overs left, 37 required.
And it's Mahika Gore with ball in hand at the Brian Statham end. Just swinging her arms to loosen up a little bit, loosening out the legs. It's Sarah Bryce to face. Gore into Bryce, and that's hit aerially. Fielder's in with it. Oh, and it's taken. The catch is taken. She's out. Sarah Bryce is out. Very well taken catch there.
Yeah, Ailsa Lister really never looked like dropping it, did she?
No, she didn't. She looked very comfortable underneath that catch. Had extra cover. Another breakthrough for the Thunder, and the Blaze will start to have a little bit of a feeling of deja vu, maybe. Having been in a similar-ish position yesterday, maybe a more favourable position, to be honest, yesterday, but certainly towards the end of the innings, and things started to unravel slightly.
Well, Maddie Green's coming in a lot earlier than she did yesterday. She was there right at the death, and she was the sacrifice coming back for the non-existent 2, as Catherine Bryce tried to get that 2 needed from the last ball for the win. It didn't happen, so Maddie Green, the New Zealander, in a little earlier, only on a short-term contract with the Blaze, not got a name or number on the back of her Blaze shirt, but her name will certainly be remembered by her teammates if she can get them over the line here.
Indeed. She takes her guard, Maddie Green from New Zealand. Caused problems for England many a time, home and away. Very powerful batter, good striker of the ball. She's surveying the scene, checking out where the fielders are in position and getting ready to face Mahika Gore. Around the wicket, the left armour, and that's a wide. That goes leg side.
She had a little bit of an issue with that right at the start of the innings, didn't she, when she opened the bowling? 2 in the first over.
That's right, having just got a big wicket. She'll want to keep that line.
Got to keep the pressure on, haven't you? It's just given Maddie Green a little bit of a sighter.
Indeed. Settle any nerves that are in. Gore into Green, who cuts that straight to the point fielder at deep point. 1 run they come through for, so it's 134 for 335 to win from 22 balls.
Strange sort of day weather-wise. There's some really filthy clouds around, but every now and again the ground bathed in sunshine.
Indeed, like just at the moment as Gore into Catherine Bryce. Takes a wild swing at that, and the keeper's missed that, so that's going to go all the way through. 4-run signalled by the umpire, so it must have got some bit of bat on it.
Yeah, it was hard to detect from here, or I certainly found it hard to definitely say that she got some bat on it, but it certainly did for the keeper. It bibbled and bobbled this way and that before evading Ellie Threlkeld. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
she
did get a little something on that, actually. I'd expect a keeper of the calibre of Threlkeld to stop that, perhaps. Tough chance. Gore in, and that's slashed away to the covers. They'll get through for just the 1 run. Better outcome from that delivery for Lancashire.
30 required from 20. Who's going to be the one that tips the balance in the favour of their side?
Maddie Green, newly arrived to the crease. Can Mahika Gore? What can she do here? Green uses her feet to shuffle down. Just hits the ball on the head. Shy at the stumps. Doesn't quite get there, so they're through for 1 run. There, she's off strike again, Maddie Green.
It's a real show of intent from Catherine Bryce. She was out of the traps there and quickly down to the far end. Almost made Maddie Green run. Good call.
Catherine Bryce is going to want to be there at the end with a Blaze victory, very much so. Will do everything she can to ensure that. As Gore is in. She tries to scoop it and don't think makes any connection there at any rate through to the keeper. It's another dot ball to finish the over. 141 for 3 after 17 overs. So with 3 remaining, 29 balls required, 29 runs, I beg your pardon.
Thunder were on 139, so the Blaze are 2 runs better off. They need Catherine Bryce to see them home now, you'd imagine. Bit of a discussion going on at the far end as to who's going to bowl the next over for Thunder. 29 required from 18 balls here. Just under 10 and over then required. Second dramatic finish in as many outings for the Blaze on the cards here. Tara Norris back into the attack. Bowled 3 overs. 1 for 30 so far. Left arm quick bowls, and this is clipped away onto the leg side. Bryce barely touches down at this end, but does touch down and then sprints back. Had that been a direct hit, which is asking a lot from 60, 65 yards, she might have been in trouble, but manages to get there. 2 runs to Maddie Green, doubles her score onto 4.
Yeah, some good cricket there on that last delivery, that last play.
There's Tara Norris in again, bowls, and once again drilled out in the direction of the point rather than 2 point. And this time they just get a single. 144 for 3, the Blaze. Target 170. In fact, it was already on the board, I beg your pardon. It's 143 for 3. 27 required from 16. Blaze need boundaries. Norris bowls. Just turned away by Catherine Bryce onto the leg side, and again they'll push hard. Throw goes to the non-striker's end. And they come back comfortably for 2.
Yeah, comfortably is the word that I think for Thunder fans that will stick a little bit, because you don't want the Blaze doing anything comfortably at the moment if you're Thunder. If you're Blaze, you're going to take every run you can get.
It's probably just an easier 2, just to drop it on the leg side Let's see what Catherine Bryce does. Oh, well, she's blasted it over extra cover and away for 4. That's a glorious shot from Catherine Bryce. Pitched up by Tara Norris and hammered away over extra cover and away for 4.
Fantastic shot, and it was a really good over for Tara Norris up to that point. But Catherine Bryce just making the most of delivery that just sat up for her.
150 on the board, so 9 already from this over. 2 balls left in it. Catherine Bryce on strike. She's on the charge. She's on 36 from 23. As Tara Norris bowls to Catherine Bryce. Just checked her drive this time. Playing it up to Eccleston at mid-off, no run.
Much better from Tara Norris there.
So Tara Norris going into this over with an economy rate of 10. She's gone for 9 so far in this over. I don't think Catherine Bryce would mind if she got a single as well to get down to the other end. Norris bowls, and Bryce has hit this in the air out towards deep mid-wicket and very, very nearly carried to the fielder out there in the deep, Katie Mack.
Katie Mack, if anyone was going to get underneath that, and she very nearly did, but yeah, just out of reach.
Got back for 2, 152 for 3 with 2 to go.
Yeah, so quite an expensive over in the end for Tara Norris, with very good boundary off the bat of Catherine Bryce. 18 required from 12 now. 2 overs remaining. So definitely within reach of the Blaze here. It's going to take some boundaries. They'll need at least, a couple of boundaries in each over. Something that they've been able to do quite regularly throughout the game so far, but also well within the means of Thunder. I think this over in particular, they need to really keep it tight, restrict those 2s that the Blaze have been able to pinch every now and then over the last couple of overs, and definitely cut off any boundaries. It's Sophie Morris, spin of Sophie Morris to Maddie Green, a New Zealander, playing for the Blaze. Into Green, who turns around to scoop that. There's a bit of an appeal, but nothing doing there.
Down the leg, yeah, down the leg side. Must have got something on it, otherwise that would have been called. Got away with one there, the bowler.
Morris into Green again. Hits that straight down the ground. She'll get off strike, just the 1 run. Good result for Morris there.
Yeah, and also for the Blaze, I think Catherine Bryce is seeing it well.
Very true.
Needs a boundary.
She's in, steps across her wicket and slashes that backward square leg, 4 runs. Needed a boundary and she got a boundary, a very good one, Catherine Bryce.
Lovely bit of ball striking.
Sure, moving the Blaze on. They needed 9 runs and over. Just got 4 off the bat of Catherine Bryce. So
13 to win from 9 is the equation now.
Blaze would dearly love to do it in this over and not take it as close to anywhere near a tie. Morrison to Bryce. 2 fielders after it, but it splits them both, and that's through the leg side for 4 more runs.
Really timing it beautifully. Seeing it well. She's picking the gaps. Hitting the ball hard. I think once again she's paced this innings beautifully, Catherine Bryce.
Yeah, just splitting the 2 fielders there, deep mid-wicket. And deep long on. 9 from 8 needed. Morrison. And that's pulled straight to a fielder. Deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, Fee Morris making sure it's only 1. So 8 now required from 7. This is almost like a help yourself ball for Maddie Green. If she doesn't get down to the other end, Catherine Bryce will be on strike anyway. Might as well try and hit a boundary hit.
Indeed, she comes down and hits that aerially straight back over the bowler's head. 6 runs.
That should be that.
Yeah, graceful and easy-looking lofted straight drive over the bowler's head for 6 runs. Just the shot that the Blaze and Maddie Green needed at that stage. Make the most of that 19th over.
Yeah, 16 runs coming from it. An over that started with one drifted down the leg side. Wasn't called as a leg side wide. Might have just brushed the clothing. But from then onwards, it was mayhem. And the Blaze very much on the brink of getting their first victory. Played one, tied one last night.
Yep, needing just 2 more runs now to take the victory from Lancashire.
Well, it's going to be Sophie Eccleston to bowl. Pretty much got to bowl the over of her life here, you'd imagine.
Indeed.
Dots and wickets. That's all she's looking for. Dots and wickets. She'll be bowling to Catherine Bryce, who's on 47 not out. The first ball is pushed into the offside. They'll get one. They'll probably push 2 here. They will. And that is going to be the win for the Blaze by 7 wickets. Catherine Bryce finishes 49 not out. She won't mind too much about individual milestones. Punch of the air from Catherine Bryce as she came back for the second. And the Blaze have won with 5 balls to spare here earlier in the afternoon. Felt that maybe the Thunder had left a few out there, finishing on 169 for 4. It was always going to be a challenging target, but thanks to 49 not out from Catherine Bryce, the finisher, the Blaze have got home earlier. A century opening stand between Marie Kelly, who made 40, and Georgia Elwis, who made 53. It's going to be a disappointing start to the afternoon for the home supporters here, Faith. Those that have travelled from the East Midlands, or certainly those that have just come to enjoy an afternoon watching professional sport out in the fresh air, they'll very much have enjoyed the closeness of the contest. There's been some good batting, some decent fielding, and a thrilling climax, but it's the Blaze who take the win.
The Blaze take the win, and yeah, Thunder will cut off disappointed this time. But we'll come back next time, I'm sure. Come back even harder.
A reminder, there's another game this afternoon at 4 o'clock start between Lancashire Lightning men and Notts Outlaws. And if you care to join us for that one, we very much enjoy your company here in Old Trafford. But just to put the nuts and bolts on this one, the Blaze picking up their first win. They go to 6 points from 2 matches, with the tie last night giving them 2 points. 4 for the win this time. Splendid start to the competition for Catherine Bryce. 58 not out last night and 49 not out in this one. Scott Reed comes back into the commentary box. It was close, but the visitors just getting the verdict.
Yeah, it's a great run chase, that, wasn't it? Terrific run chase by the Blaze to get there with 5 balls to spare. Bryce unbeaten on 49. The players just shaking hands, and yeah, impressive stuff that by the Blaze in their run chase. I think we're going to get some reaction potentially from outside. Maybe catch up with someone from the Lancashire Thunder camp for our viewers on Lancs TV. In fact, we could do that now, Colin. We can join Fraser downstairs.
Yeah, unfortunately not the result that we were hoping for, Paul, but you called it, didn't you? You said early on this was 2 very, very evenly matched teams, and that's exactly how it turned out to be.
Absolutely. I mean, Blaze are a good side historically, and Thunder are developing into a very good side, and player for player, there's not much between them, and, you know, Thunder got a really good score of 169. And, you know, to be chased down in the way it was there today, I think it was a brilliant game of cricket. Disappointing for Thunder, but a well-earned win for the Blaze team.
Yeah, the Blaze started, if you'll forgive the pun, they were on fire, weren't they, in the early stages of the game, and really using that power play, just as Lancashire did, but just got away a little bit too much for Lancashire to keep a handle on the game.
Absolutely. 63 for on off the power play, and the partnership between Kelly and Elwis, 101 partnership. You know, looking at the stats on that, Kelly 40 off 31 and Elwis 53 off 43. That was really the foundation to what came next. Lancashire got back into the game with some good fielding, a little bit of good bowling in that middle period, and got 3 quick wickets, 3 big wickets. But actually the way Catherine Bryce came in and played a wonderful innings. I mean, just looking at that now, 49 off 29. That was a top quality innings under pressure to take her team home. It was a great performance from them. Disappointing for Thunder. Great performance for Blaze.
Yeah, Catherine Bryce was a class act, wasn't she? When she came in when things were starting to look maybe like the tide might be turning, she really steadied the ship for the Blaze today.
Absolutely, and what she were able to do as well is keep rotating that strike, keep rotating the stride, keep ticking over the scorebox, make sure the runs are flowing, and then put the bad ball away. When she got in, then she took the impetus and put pressure on the Lancashire bowling unit.
Unfortunately, one or two little fielding errors here and there as well when the ball was flying around. It's that kind of thing that they're going to have to iron out to get more success in this competition now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game where they'll look at that and think we probably weren't quite at our best in the field, and sometimes we missed as lines and we missed as lengths from a bowling unit. But actually, there's games like that that then sharpen you for the next one. So I think they'll look at that, be really honest as a group, reflect on that with the coaching staff, back into training, work on those things, go hard in the next game.
Obviously, it was a huge celebration for everybody involved after winning the T20 County Cup earlier in the week. Is this maybe just a little bit of a game that's going to bring some people back down to earth and just remind them that this Vitality Blast competition is a new start, it's a new competition, everybody's got to reset and get back to it?
Yeah, because I think in the Vitality Blast that there's no poor sides, there's no easy games. So game like this quite early on in a competition, a tight one like this that you're on the wrong side of, no one wants that. But actually, as you say, it's a really good reminder that there's still a little bit of work to be done. And they'll accept that, they'll work really hard, and it might just push them on to have a really good competition. It's better losing at the start than it is the end. The end's where the trophy comes. So let's get back on the horse and get going again.
How did they go about doing that now? Because obviously they know that they can win games. They've had a good season so far. What is it in terms of Lancashire having to do to try and get everybody ready for that next game and get the mindset back up again?
I think over the next couple of days they'll review honestly, reflect honestly on the game, work out what they've done well, what areas they can slightly refine, and then they'll just take that into training. Work on the strengths still, because they need to become super strengths and they want to do that, but also just start refining some of those weaknesses that may have come into today's game, and then put that into practice next game, and just keep incrementally getting better and better and better throughout the competition, because in a competition or a tournament, it's about peaking at the right time. That's the other thing I should say. So it's important they get better game on game and they give themselves the best chance of getting to finals day in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of the positives from today's performance. The batting unit in particular was superb, wasn't it? We heard from Katie Mack a little bit earlier. Tilly Kestevan as well. Looks like she is going to be a real star too.
I think Mark and Tilly played really well at the top of the order. Remember, that's a brand new partnership, isn't it? Both two new opening batters at the top of the order. Middle order did a good job. Seren kept it going, and there were runs from Fee Morris and runs from Sophie Eccleston as well that got them to the 169, which is a pretty decent score. So there's lots of positives there. It's them putting both half of the games together, the batting, the bowling and the fielding, and ensuring that they can get over the line in a really highly competitive game.
I have a feeling we are going to see a lot of very, very tight finishes like this in this competition, because the quality of this competition is getting better and better year on year, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the way that the game has grown and developed and improved in the last 12 months is almost unbelievable to see. So it's definitely going to get better. No easy teams, as we said before. It's a real challenge, but highly competitive cricket, which is brilliant for the neutral. No, these aren't neutral today. I know these are Lancashires. But actually, what I have to say, for the people that's coming in, the generations, seeing what we're seeing here, all the players are signing autographs around the ground. That's wonderful to see. So, you know, good, highly competitive games under pressure is what this crowd wants to see, with a Lancashire win on the end of it.
Unfortunately, not the result today that we were hoping for, but very, very tight. But the Blaze have won this game by 7 wickets here in the first game for Lancashire Thunder in the Vitality T20 Blast. That is just game one, though, of a double-header that we've got here at Emirates Old Trafford, and we'll be bringing you the Lancashire Lightning up against the Nottinghamshire Outlaws in, just over an hour or so's time. So stay tuned and stay with us for that a little bit later on. But for the moment, from myself, from Paul and from everybody here at Emirates Old Trafford, and the Badger and Coombs team have been absolutely superb as usual. We'll say goodbye and we'll see you a little bit later on.